So, I'd like each and every single one of you all to gather around the table and let me tell you all a Voden fable. To gather around for the tale of these band of misfits, the tale of the looming corruption and a jaded destiny. For this be the infamous tale of Valley of Dreams and the legendary tale of the Soulbound. Previously, our heroes were found traversing the caves of a nearby waterfall, and they'd come to seek refuge, but in turn they would find a cave filled with corrupted orcs from all sides. With the individuals unable to be on the same page, they'd pay the consequences as their position was made known, and the orcs would launch an assault. It'd be a hard-fought battle, but eventually the individuals would be able to push through. With that being said, it'd be Agni and Azura coming to form, being able to destroy their foes. Gore and Korra would crush all in their way, and Zaman would unleash this newfound druidic power. However, Adidark would unleash their primal rage, assuming the form of a werebear in front of the individual's eyes. And with that, the final enemy was slain. And with that, eventually they would argue about their sort of shortcomings, but with that, the storm did pick up further and further. But eventually, they decide to bed down for the evening. And with that said, survivors, listen now. With you all in this new strange world, only so many days remain until the attack nears. With tensions high, will your dynamic break down before they get a hold of you? Or will you strengthen your resolve and camaraderie in Session 3 of Valley of Dreams? And with that, my friends, let us begin today's session exactly where we left off. Oh boy. Also, fun fact, remind me to send you guys a little, or like at the end of the session, remind me to send you like a little teaser opening for Valley of Dreams for the song that we got so far.
That wasn't it?
Nah, that's just Assassin's Creed. That's just Assassin's Creed. I think it's Japanese remix from Assassin's Creed 3, the opening.
Yeah.
I think. I
knew that. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. You said this ain't my final form? Alright. So, gonna be loading in the map, give you guys a little bit of ambience as usual, and let's get started. Alright, where the heck did it go? I believe this is correct. Here we go. Alright. So, as we pick back off where we left off, we look towards the likes of each and every single one of you who seem to be getting ready to bed down for the evening. Now, some of you, actually, you probably want to drag your characters over there. There, I gotcha, because you guys would also all be where kind of Agni, Korra, and Azura are, towards the front of the cave, unless you guys decided to move on, but I don't think you guys said anything last session. But you would find yourselves at the beginning of this sort of thing, with the outside of it, or in sight. You did see, as from earlier, you watched as the sort of sky began to almost flicker, and then immediately, without any sort of sunrise or sunset or anything, it immediately turned to night in a darkened sky. You also notice as things began to continue that the storm outside began to get worse and worse as rain began to pour heavier and heavier. That being said, as you guys all reside in this cave, is there anything you all do as you before you go to bed and handle all of that stuff?
Yeah, I think the only thing Zaman was trying to do is just try to see if he can integrate these great axes or whatever weapons that was found into his body.
Gotcha, with the arm blade sort of thing. All right.
Yep.
So if that's the case, which weapon are you trying? I'm just gonna have your characters here for the point, or for the time being, and then here I'm also drag Azura actually in the map. But that being said, if you guys
I'm not in the map.
Well, it was like half your
Oh.
token was cut off because of the lighting. Yeah. But that being said, Zaman, what weapon are you trying to basically make your arm blade out of? Are you trying to use like a hammer, a sword, a dagger? What are you looking at?
What's available? I wasn't sure what was dropped.
Well, I guess it really depends on the weapons you have. So any things that you have in your inventory, you can just list them out, and then we can go from there. If you
I
want
don't
to
have
use
a
one of the, oh yeah, oh boy. So if you want to use one of the weapons from the Orcs, let's see. So they only had on their person. If you guys want to take some, you could, but they only have great axes and javelins. Now I don't think you can use a great axe for it. I'm fact checking right now. Nah, you can't use a great axe for it, but you can use a javelin arm blade if you want.
Okay.
Gore
Yeah, I was
definitely
gonna
want to pick up
javelin
one of the
blade.
javelins. By the way,
Alright. How many did you
Yeah.
want to pick up? There is a ton.
I think. Well, I mean, how much could Gore carry? I guess is my question.
Oh, let's guesstimate. So you're not the strongest individual. How much does a javelin weigh roughly? You could probably yeah, they don't weigh too much. You could probably carry like, there's just a ballpark guesstimate, probably like 20 or 10, between 10 and 20.
Yeah, I could
Oh.
carry anything Gore can carry for him.
Yeah, so I think Gore would grab like if he could carry the 20, he'd carry the 20 javelin.
I mean, I can also put them all in this quiver that I have.
Facts.
Yeah. Well, then Gore would take 10 and ask, more or less ask Agni to take what else?
Yeah, apparently this can hold 18, and I wouldn't feel it.
Okay. Alrighty, that said, I'm just changing over here. Alright, so, so if I was to say, we're gonna just say for the sakes of this, if there are 25 javelins, who's getting how many?
I will take 5.
Alright, so Zaman's getting
Gore's
5.
gonna take 10.
Alright, Gore's getting 10.
I'll take 5.
Alright, hold up one second.
Never mind.
Yeah, Agni, you probably won't even need it.
Yeah, guess not.
Alright, so,
Yeah,
Cora, you wanted, how many?
5.
5, alrighty. And then Zaman, you wanted 5. Boom. I'm just dragging it over to your character sheets. And then Gore, you wanted 10, right?
Mhm.
Alright, dope. Okay, so if you guys check your inventories, you will see the javelins in there. It only display as one. It's not gonna like copy and paste all of them, obviously.
I would take the other 5 and put them in the quiver.
Alrighty. I'll throw a javelin into your inventory.
Oh, and can you throw the kabooboo in my inventory?
Oh yeah, I gotta go. This is bad.
Boo-boo.
Kaboo, not the counterbow, the kabooboo.
Yeah, I like the name. Let's go with it.
Bro, it's canon,
Not the-
bro.
Not the
Cannon
kabooboo,
now.
not the big ass bat. Oh man.
Boo-boo.
Yeah, just give me a moment, and I'm going over to the other map and transferring it over. All right. It'll take a second, but that being said, so Zaman, as you're trying to sort of experiment, try to embed the sort of arm blade into, well, pretty much your own arm, taking one of the javelins. Oh boy. Let's look into this. Oh man, so this is gonna be, this is gonna take a little bit of time to make. So, as you begin to sort of draw up a little bit of ideas and sort of designs and whatnot, real quick, make just a general intelligence check for me, Zaman.
Oh boy.
Six.
Can I throw some guidance on that boy?
Probably not after you rolled, sadly.
Okay.
So, with a 6, it's gonna take a little bit. You're a little bit trying to figure out exactly how you're going to sort of, or make this a kind of like efficient sort of design so it doesn't kind of get in the way. You're kind of like sort of between of like, okay, maybe there's a way to sort of embed the javelin so like you can sort of retract it within your arm, and then sort of like extend it whenever you need to, and even maybe launch it. But at the same time, you're not entirely sure if that's even possible with the skill set that you have available, and you're wondering like, crap, do you need to like sort of replace your entire arm with the javelin? It's a little bit of a struggle at the moment. That being said, if you're trying to begin crafting or in the processes of it, I need you to make a simple survival check to begin this sort of journey. It'll take you a little bit to do so. That's intelligence check won't make it easier, but you can definitely start the process.
All right, I'm going to cast guidance ahead of this time.
All right. That being said, as this is happening, you cast the spell, and you guys all watch as the Mon is sort of tinkering away with that of the javelin, and trying to also mess with his arm at the moment. 15. Plus
can I give
1.
him? Can I give him help since I'm also a robot?
Yeah, if you want to. So if you're helping him as well, you can give Zaman advantage. So Zaman, roll one more time.
Oh, there you go.
Oh man, there you go.
Gracious.
No, please. Oh my god, every fucking week I forget about this. Oh my god, terrible, freaking terrible. All right. Oh wait, the virtual webcam it stopped for some reason. That was weird. I'll fix it later. But that being said, as you guys are watching Zaman or Korra, you sort of helping him. Eventually, Zaman, with a little bit of a secondary help, especially from that of a Warforged, you're able to, for sure, get a better idea of what you kind of need or how much this sort of process will, or how long it will take. With a natural 20, and probably if you use Korra's help, you'd maybe think that within probably 3 rests, so like whether it be short rests or long rests, you could probably get this thing done or embedded into your form. Keep up success like that, and between your help, you may be able to get the retractable design to be able to conceal your blade.
Oh, okay. That's what I likes to hear. Okay.
Good stuff.
I'll just talk to Korra and just pretty much tell her. Once I figure this out, I could probably help you with yours as well.
Thank you, Zman.
Thank you for the help.
For those who still have their memories and whatnot, it definitely is sort of strange notice or like still understanding of like Zaman and Korra's new form. They seem to be getting used to it pretty fast, but it's still definitely strange considering their original forms. But regardless, you kind of brush it off to the side. Now, that being said, is there anything you guys want to talk about or do as a group before you guys all bed down and take your night watches and all that stuff? If there's any like group-wide conversations and all that stuff while in this cave, go for it now.
I think Gore would just be a little bit paranoid of green orcs at the moment. So he'd be more so watching. He'd be trying to watch the back more than anything else.
Zaman would say, we have to work better as a unit. We shouldn't separate or go apart from each other. This is very, very dangerous area, and we could have been demised by those green orcs.
And greedy one, make sure you know I was trying to help you. Oh, of course I'm muted. Oh, I'm not. Oh, there you go.
No, you're not.
Oh, great, even better. Know that I was trying to help you. I could see through this clearly. No one else can. The quiet one just wandered in there. Gore's going to watch for the night. There may be more of those things.
It's not always about your own abilities. It's sometimes having your comrades to support you and back you up. We were at only half power when we entered this cave. We should not have gone farther in the entrance.
Gore learned his lesson from before. He's not going to leave the little ones behind. But he will watch for them. Gore's still going to protect you little ones.
As long as you remain with the team, I am satisfied.
And Gore kind of like sits a little bit outside of them, but not in like I'm trying to get away from you way, but in a I'm just trying to like watch. He's definitely watching the cave door. He's definitely taking like a sentry post.
That being said, Gore, do I need to make a perception check for you, or you got it?
I think I can do it and give it the good old college try.
Alrighty. Perception check, not bad. 13. That said, you stand ever vigilant, like keeping a general eye out, making sure that nothing is getting the jump on you. Besides that, hearing is a little bit difficult, as you do hear the sounds of the rain outside and the sort of bits of storm, or bits of the storm. It kind of drowns out any footsteps that you'd probably hear, but for the most part, your eyesight seems on point.
Copy.
Agni wants to go to Azora and ask her, Azora, a moment of your time, if you will.
So Azora's kind of like hanging out at the mouth of the cave, just kind of like leaning up against the wall, facing out into the rain as you approach her. And she'll like not like look back, like she's still looking forward, and she'll say, "What can I do for you, Agni?"
A few moments ago, you called me War Chief. Is that something I told you before in the past? I can't remember myself.
And she'll look so as you walked up to her, you noticed her like looking at her like observing her sword. You know, she has it in both her hands and she's just looking down at it, and she looks over at you and she says, "To be honest, I hate to admit it, but things are a bit hazy myself. I remember bits and pieces, fragmented memories of each of you. Zaman, Gore, Jade, Cora. But beyond that, I can't remember much more for some reason. Being here in this region, it is certainly taking its toll upon my memory. But yes, you told me about being a war chief. Zaman, a time cleric. Cora was a cleric as well, and Gore, a strange tale of a red orc. That's all I could remember.
It's strange. It seems the one thing I do remember is the person that's not here, which is Jade. I remember him quite clearly. I've met him multiple times.
Yes,
we fought before, and from what I remember, we fought alongside each other. But that's about it.
Yes, yeah, you were all part of this our group. If for some reason, perhaps maybe just like bits and pieces of erased from my memory, perhaps the rest of us was erased from yours as well. And she puts the sword down to the side and she looks over at her own hands and she like touches her eye and she says, "To be honest, I can barely remember who I was. For a moment back there during the fight with the orcs, I felt this cold wave, a chill throughout my body, and I could have sworn for but a moment my eye had frosted over with ice. And the air that I exhaled was frigid." And she's like, you see her like blowing into her hand, trying to recreate it, but you know, nothing's happening.
I would say probably at this time, Agni was probably like behind you. He'd like walk up next to you, at this point where you're kind of at the outside, looking outside the cave, and he would look out as well. Seems like we are both in the same situation. Seems like in this short period of time, our combat skills seem to be somewhat intact. everything else seems to be faded, missing. Hopefully in time, we'll be able to reclaim them as well. I don't know much about you, but feels like I've had this conversation with you before. You seem to hold your own well on the battlefield.
One of the few things I remember is being, and she looks at you, she turns her full body towards you now. She says, I lived by a code, a Bushido code. This is where my martial prowess comes from, but these ice, I am not sure. And she picks up the sword and she shows you the blade, and she says, I remember the blades I've had. They're an extension of us in the way of the Bushido. I noticed it when we first fought the wolves out on the ridge. This sword is made completely out of ice. This is not something I had. This does not, the way it grips does not feel familiar. And she puts it back in the sheath. And she says, I'm not sure if having this sword grants me these ice-like abilities.
Well, if it feels natural to you, and it seems quite powerful in your hands, maybe it was meant for you. The weapon I too carry, I can't remember having it, but for me at least, it feels like I should have it. I don't know if you have the same feeling, or maybe it will come to you in time, but if you're this powerful right now, and you're unsure of yourself, who knows what can happen in the future as you become accustomed to that sword.
Yeah, she nods to you, and she looks back at the group and she says, well, for now, the group needs to rest, so I would try to look for a way to collect some of this rainwater for those who need it.
Real quick, Azora, as you're kind of examining and looking towards the blade, make an investigation check for me.
Copy.
20? Ooh, not bad. So, as you're looking and gazing towards the thing, it is definitely intricate in design. It does seem frosted over, but only occasionally. On the blade, however, you do see as there's sort of... It's a strange sort of thing, but there definitely seems to be sort of 5 gems. Very, very small, and barely even noticeable unless you look for it. But 5 gems that seem to be sort of embedded inside of it. One at the moment seems to sort of brightly shine, but not enough to obviously draw attention, but it does seem to be sort of activated at the moment.
Okay. Should definitely take note of that. She wants to look around the cave and see if there's anything like any type of weird rock formation that is pretty much. She wants to see if there's a way to catch water.
Gotcha.
You know, I don't know if
without
I don't
having to go outside is what you mean? Like too far?
No, yeah, it's something that it's like hypothetically not too big that you can't move it, but something that she could just put outside to catch while the rain is falling.
Okay. One thing, Zora, you also received an inspiration point from chat, from
appreciate chat.
Meeting. Appreciate. What you can probably look around and see, in the cave itself, not much of anything, just besides like your handful of rocks. Nothing to be able to probably like, not be just naturally made to maybe be able to hold and carry things. However, actually, I don't think you guys have any tools for it. Maybe if you could, or if you had sort of, what are the tools? I believe masonry tools. Then maybe you could kind of make something real quick to be able to hold water together, or like be able to catch it. Other than that, it's not really looking too simple for you.
All right, so she'll probably say to whoever back at the first river we walked through. She'll probably, I think it was Gore. She'll probably say, Gore, might I see your water skin so I may collect water?
You're muted, Tito.
Yep, of course I am. Of course, quick one. We need water and rest. You especially need rest. Always fighting it. And he throws you the water skin.
Was there water already in this?
I think he drank. Yeah, you would have drank it already, Gore.
Okay, so yeah, she looks at the rest of the squad and she'll say, because Gore, you're taking first watch, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so she'll say, I'll stay up to watch with Gore and collect rain outside. And
And you rest, quick one.
and she goes to sit kind of like Indian style outside, right outside the cave with the water skin, and right in front of, right between her lap.
All right. As we begin to do so, oh boy, load of this part of the map.
Actually, while we're out here, is there like, do I see a place where the water's like running off the cliff or something? Like I can use a perception check or something.
Yeah, make a perception check for me, Azora, with advantage because this is site related. With 15, probably not running off like a cliff, like a large amount sort of thing, but you definitely find like a handful of just sort of water sort of dripping and falling off to the side that you could pretty much go almost anywhere. Probably like over here is a good way. Here is also another way. It's really just take your pick at this point.
Yeah, so she's gonna do that to collect water.
All right. That said, as you begin to sit there and begin to fill up that of the water, you look out as what seems to be that there's nothing but more than just sort of gray and darkened skies about. You do see as a bit of sort of a lightning begins to sort of surge across the sort of sky, and as it does seem to light it up blue for a brief moment before turning. Eventually you hear just a crackling of lightning and thunder before it ceases. Make a perception check though, Azora.
Okay.
This is site related as well, so one more time.
Okay.
14. So with that, you look towards. Oh, that dropped. But you look towards the sort of thunderous clouds up above, and you see, just looking about, you don't see the lightning strike vertically, like downwards onto like probably the ground or the surface or anything like that. Instead, you see as it begins to sort of strike and just sort of surge, just almost horizontally, just amongst the clouds itself. Sort of strange sort of thing. Doesn't really seem familiar to you before, though. But it is something of note.
Should definitely note that.
Other than that,
About how long would you say collecting the water would take to fill up like the water skin?
be nice and whatnot. Probably no more than like 3 to 5 minutes or anything like that. It just depends on where you sort of sit. But besides that, you're just kind of like sitting out here, gazing towards the entire area. Also with your 14, you would have noticed, in 14 and 15, you would have noticed as there are several sort of floating islands just abundant and whatnot. You still see the sort of massive one kind of above the edge of this sort of waterfall and this sort of cliff. But, you also begin to see as this sort of happens, is a sort of strange phenomenon, but you do see as it begins to actually explode before you.
The island?
Yes, the entire floating island. You see as it begins to sort of crackle with this sort of purple light, and then immediately just sort of shatter out into several pieces. You watch as the bits of the island itself begin to immediately just crash towards the ground. And you do overhear it, but that being said,
Seeing the floating island fall, she gets a weird sensation of almost like deja vu, but can't quite put her finger on it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to evade you either, but regardless, it's information or something to note for another time. Alright, that said, do you eventually head back inside?
Yeah. Pretty much, she's gonna, what she's gonna do is during her watch, like fill the water up. She's gonna drink it, then fill it up again and give it to Gore because he's awake. And then she's gonna, whoever's gonna be the next person to wake up, she's gonna give the water skin to them.
You got it. Alright, so I'll update your water for now. And, alright, that being said, while Azor's outside and going to do that, Zaman and Kor were building the arm blade. Agni was talking with Azor earlier. Gore and Adidark, are you two doing anything before your watch? Are you talking or conversing, or anything at all? You did eventually, or you guys would have all eventually seen that Adidark's form would have resorted back to the usual thing that you saw them in. But regardless, is there anything else you guys do?
Gore would probably be like, that was a neat trick, furry one.
You should see my other 3.
There's more? Maybe you'll be good. You'll be good with us. And he sort of like smacks you on the back.
This
Little
maybe if
ones
this
need
group,
protecting sometimes. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
maybe if this group started talking less and taking naps less, we'd be better. I've never seen folk want to just make camp in enemy territory. It's very obscure for my tribe, at least.
That's why Gore watches the little ones. They don't all know war. The big one and the quick one, they know exactly what they're doing. Sometimes the greedy one gets himself in trouble. He likes shiny things way too much. And the quiet one, we've been friends for a while. These new bodies got the quiet one feeling stronger than she may really be. But if you're as strong as you look, they'll do just fine with us protecting them.
Especially with us both being able to see at night. Those tin cans look pretty funny wandering around in the dark.
Gore does agree with that. Their other bodies were much more mushy.
Excited. Alright, so as this is sort of happening, you guys would have seen, oh boy, here we go. You guys would have eventually seen off in the corner of your eye a small sort of spherical individual. A familiar one, kind of, but not really. They seem to have 2 sort of fins extended amongst their back. And eventually you would have seen that they approached the likes of Adidark. Now, as they begin to do so, you see as they just begin to sort of place a simple one of their fins directly onto Adidark's shoulder before eventually you see as they begin to sort of disperse and almost kind of explode out. Adidark, I need you to roll a D100 for me. So I'm going to request the roll for you. If you look into the bottom right of your screen, you'll see like the 2 little dice, and you'll also see the roll button. So this is just like kind of below the chat and all that.
Yeah, I see it, but definitely got some technical difficulties. Let's see if this works.
I gotcha. If it doesn't, close. I gotcha. I'll take the first one though. With a 38, you do see as the individual begins to explode out, and it does seem to almost erupt in flames. And as it does, eventually it sort of dissipates. No longer. Adidark, you receive an inspiration point from chat.
Oh, wonderful. Much appreciated.
Alright. That said.
Gore
go
would
ahead.
notice that, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, notice that.
it was not subtle in the least bit.
Gore would, that's happened with Gore before. They seem harmless.
That being said, Azora, as you begin to eventually approach back inside, you see the likes of Adi Dark and Gore conversing, or Korra and Zaman sort of working, and Agni off to the side doing his own thing. But Zaman, you begin to feel something sort of strange come about you. And you look down as you're sort of working, and you see as the mark upon your hand begins to sort of shine, the red triangle placed atop of the palm of it.
It's a red triangle now?
Yes. From before it got changed, and the sort of, we'll call it the new campaign, it got changed.
Okay. Red triangle, copy.
Alright. That being said, Korra, you definitely begin to notice as it begins to shine. That said, Zaman, are you doing anything?
Zaman is definitely going to investigate it to figure out if he can see what's going on.
Alright. As you begin to sort of mess around, try to understand it as it begins to glow, eventually you're just trying to sort of examine it, and you see as the mark itself begins to detach itself from the palm of your hand. And you see as the red triangle begins to expand outward, massive in size. Right in front of you, Korra, and everyone. Oh boy, for the sakes of this, we're just gonna use this sort of thing. Oh boy. One moment, please.
I direct it to be up in the air so it doesn't touch anybody?
Well, the thing is, it kind of detached itself and kind of did its own thing, is the main sort of issue. But,
Okay.
you, for the sake of this, we'll just use this one, for now. Oh boy. And we'll see if I can maybe do that. I don't think so. Probably not. There we go. Good enough. So as it begins to do this and sort of emanate, now granted it's not a circle, it's still in the shape of a triangle, so use your imagination, but you see as inside of this sort of small triangle, you see as visions, strange happenings begin to play out as an omen plays before you all. Those paying attention, you glance towards it, and it's pretty easy to see. It's not like hiding itself or anything like that. But you see as several individuals are sort of in a dungeon, a crypt. You're not sure. They seem to be sort of climbing across lava, and they also seem to be roped and maybe chained together. You also see as the vision begins to shift and change once more, and you see a structure kind of shiny with stars and constellations and runes upon it. You see as the vision changes again, and you see as these individuals, same in nature, are in a desert. Most likely the Forbidden Expanse, from what you could tell and assume. But all 5 individuals seem to be present before. Oh boy. Question, who has their memory from last campaign?
I do.
And Gore does too.
Gore does, Zaman does. Is that it?
Cora doesn't have much since she changed.
Alright. That being said, as you begin to witness this, you watch as a woman begins to emerge from the sands. A woman that seems very, very familiar in Nephiba Morga. As it does, they sort of converse and travel with one another, and you see as it begins to shift again, you see as they're being chased away by, or all 6 of these new individuals, they seem to be getting along for now. They seemed almost hostile towards the woman, but eventually accepting her. But you do see as immediately they are sort of running away, being chased by something, a large sort of beast, as they're running for their lives. But the creatures give chase before eventually they rest and reside in ruins. Another sort of omen begins to shift and play before you, and finally the last thing you see is 3 of their bodies unconscious, while 3 others are trying to revive them and save them. The 3 that are unconscious seem to be that of Nephiba Morga, Also a sort of strange warforged individual in the likes of an Aarakocra or a bird folk. As this is happening, you see as 3 other individuals, but their forms are kind of hard to tell and understand. They're trying to revive them and save them before you all hear, every last one of you, in the voice, or a strange sort of voice in your head. And it says this. Find help survive. Build. Defend. As this sort of happens, the omen stops. Every last one of you begin to stop hearing this sort of voice into your head. And Zaman, you watch as the red triangle appears and begins to float back onto the palm of your hand. And reside there sort of inert. That being said, as this all begins to play out in front of you, what do you say? And what do you do?
First, Zaman will say, if that was Nafiba, it's, oh no, if she dies, what will happen to me and Kawa? Will we be stuck like this? What happens to the... And then he stops.
Would she have looked the same or not the same as far as the arm goes?
Make a perception check for this one.
I might need for you to roll that on me. I'm having the smallest of technical difficulties right now.
I got you, buddy. All right, Gore. Perception. Ooh, this is why you don't have me roll. That is a natural 1, my friend. It's hard to tell.
Oh, that's it. All right, it's okay. It's Gore. That's fine.
If anybody else wants to make a perception check, you can try, but the DC does go up, obviously, with each failure.
As Azora say, why are they so worried about that one? This Nafiba.
That's the one who took and Gore pointed at Cora and Zaman and be like, that's the one who took their bodies, and that's the one who ended up. Do we still got those things on our wrist?
Yeah, you do.
And that's the one that gave us the.
Be careful.
Yeah.
You remember, as part of the thing, we can only say so much about our situation.
1 second.
You're right, Zaman. You're right. You're right, greedy one. But
Hold on 1 second. Stop right there, Gore. Oh God, hold up. Stop right there. I gotta go check something now. Oh man.
Out there flapping.
Flapping.
the
think you're okay.
The person already knows.
No, Addy.
But then you have the thing is this one.
Addy Dark's here.
Oh yeah.
Bruh.
I'm about to connect to this Wi-Fi.
So here's what happens. As you begin to sort of speak, you do feel as if your arm begins to sort of tighten and tighten. You also begin to feel a sort of poison beginning to course amongst your veins. I'm gonna have you make a Constitution saving throw. I'll make it for you, obviously, because you can't do it at the moment. But save and throw. Natural 20. Oh man, it's up and down. I don't know what the heck this thing is, but with a 22, you're able to resist a majority of it, and it only seems to be just a little bit. It definitely seems to be almost a warning. That said, you only take 1 poison damage, and you're good to go. But
and Gore be like, these damn things.
or actually, this isn't poison damage.
right,
This is necrotic damage.
All right, bet. And Gore be like, I forgot that one greedy one.
Does that glow like on his wrist?
Not really. What you see more is like the veins upon Gore begin to sort of bulge and turn purple.
Oh, okay.
Zaman would say, remember, we can't talk about in front of everyone. If we want to discuss it, we have to have a private conversation.
Zora said,
You're right,
yeah,
Kitty One.
yeah, you can't speak about it in front of who?
And then Zaman will point to Adidak. He was not there when this happened. Therefore, he cannot know about it.
You do feel, Zaman,
Unfortunately.
as the thing or the band around your arm does begin to sort of tighten as well. Not as much to the point of gore, but you do see or feel it beginning to tighten.
And Zaman will say, I've said enough.
What sorcery is this? One can't speak of their past?
Can you at least talk about what those bracelets are?
And Zora would look at her wrist, seemingly like kind of just noticing this.
No, we cannot. We can. And Zaman says, Agni, do you mind coming with me?
Real quick, what languages does everybody read? I got you,
Natural?
I got like nothing now.
And almost nothing now. Infernal and common. That's it now.
I know Druidic,
Oh.
Infernal, Primordial, Sylvan, and Celestial.
No, you still can't read it.
I know Elvish, Giant, and Orc.
You said what again?
Elvish, Giant, and Orc.
Alright, that's what I needed to hear. Alright, hey, Cora. I'm going to take you into the secrets room. Alright. Hello.
Yeah.
Alright, so, as you begin to look towards this sort of, bands and whatnot, you are actually able to read these sort of marks on them. It does translate to Elvish, from what you can tell. They seem to be more coordinates, from what you can tell, and there seem to be a similar thing on each of pretty much everybody's sort of person, the same sort of coordinates. That said, it would take a little bit of time. You'd probably need a map as well, or at least know how to sort of navigate, but you could probably figure out where to go to get to there.
Is all our coordinates the same, or is they're all different?
They're all the same.
Okay.
Alright.
Cool.
That information is known to you. You can choose to share it if you want to, but you do not have to.
Campaigns now, Sean.
Alright, there you go.
I don't remember the first time.
Yeah, he definitely used it. I think it has something to do with your race.
Alright. That said, there you
My
go.
notes.
Go ahead.
No, we're just talking about the DM.
Oh, I see. So you said roll it for initiative, right? No, I'm kidding. Alright. That said, as you're sort of glancing towards it, did you say that, Zaman, you were telling Agni that you needed to talk and you were about to take him somewhere, or no? Am I crazy and making this up? Okay.
Yeah, I said, Agni, yeah, can I have you for a moment? Can we speak outside?
There's rain outside, but fine.
Alright.
Azora hands one of the other water skin. She'll probably you, Agni, since Zaman don't need to drink. And she'll say, fill it up, get a drink before you rest. I don't know if Agni drinks, but yeah.
Despite yes, he does. He would take it a nod.
Oh,
He
man.
does still need to eat and drink.
Alright. That being said, with the sort of water skin handed to you, you two begin to both head out. Alrighty, let's go outside. Activate. Did it work? There it is. And let me go drag your tokens in one moment.
Copy. Can we start talking?
Yeah, if you want to, go for it.
Copy.
just
Zaman would
fixing
make
everything.
sure that we're out of earshot from anybody who may be listening at the entrance of the cabin. And he will say, Agni,
Yes.
you were there when these bans was put upon us. They,
Well, then why don't I have one?
you stated that you had been branded or banned before, and Zaman will point to his, I guess the outline on his around his eyes, and you refused to get another one. Uh, so we were able to work it out where the witch didn't bind you, but she took your memories.
Hmm. Agnew will kind of like look down for a little bit. So this witch is why I can't remember anything, is what you're telling me.
It's not 100%. She took your memories of a lot of our time together. When we met you, you had forgotten about a day, maybe a day and a half worth of information. The what you forgot now is on a whole different scale. I don't think she's powerful enough to do such a thing.
Hmm. So what you're telling me is...
Real quick, one thing to note, Zaman, that was definitely weird and strange, was you seen how powerful she is, yet the beast that they were running from seemed to be just a simple animal. Now,
Copy.
that doesn't really check out or confirm, because why wouldn't she just, destroy that thing almost instantaneous? Doesn't seem right.
Copy. Zaman would say, yeah, but back to these bands. So, as we had mentioned before, you and Gar were captured by this witch. She was going to sacrifice you in some form or fashion. We made a deal for your life. To go to this place called a Forbidden City and get some type of information for her. To ensure that we completed this task, she put these bans on us and forbid us from telling anybody of this task that she assigned to us, making it such that we will die if we were to reveal the secret to anybody that wasn't in our group. Now, mind you, she made this.
Wait, hold on 1 second. The person that you pointed out that came from whatever vision from your hand and that triangle, that person put those bands on you and will kill you if you talk about it to anyone else.
Yes. Well, I think the bands are kind of separate from her at the moment. Like, if we will just automatically die.
Interesting.
So,
Anything else happen that I
yes.
should know?
So all of us except for you agreed to this. And she took your memory and then sent you, I guess, back to the tavern and back to where we first met. Me and Kara decided to exchange our bodies for these bodies, as the witch stated it would aid us in completing this task in the Forbidden City. And that she could potentially transform us back once it was done. Now, with all that has happened, I don't know the feasibility of that, but the reason we can speak to you upon it and we cannot talk to Addy Dark is because he wasn't a part of our original group, and he wasn't a part of the pact.
Question for you, Zaman. Before
Yes.
all this happened, how long were we traveling together?
I think close to a week, maybe 2.
So you're the type of person to exchange your body, protect someone you've known for a week.
I'm the type of person to analyze a situation and see that if we didn't come up with some type of agreement, death was definitely on the table. And I have bigger things that I must do. So, though I did want to save you, my primary objective was to save myself. Because if we didn't make this deal, I'm sure she would have just killed us.
I appreciate the sentiment. Do not mistake my intentions. It seems quite foolish, but I appreciate it nonetheless. If there's a period where I can remember these memories, I'm sure I would be able to thank you properly. But for now, I can only take your word.
Excuse me, I didn't.
And in
Agony.
the future, we can. In the future, maybe we can find this witch that did this and figure out some form of revenge, if that's what you were looking for.
I'm not particularly the vengeful type. I just would prefer to have my body back. If that happens, I'll be happy. Now, you, on the other hand, she did have you and Goran in quite the predicament. I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to slay her.
That seems like the easiest solution right now. Probably the most absolute as well. But if it's that same person that we just saw running from some beast, the magic she put on you seems weird.
It is quite strange. She looks much more feeble, much weaker, as if she's not her same visceral self. But then again, when we met her, she did have a corrupted arm that could have been fueling some of her powers.
Hey Zaman, make her a perception check towards the, this is for the memory from earlier, or the vision from earlier.
Copy.
9.
Ooh, 9.
You would have seen, or you would have seen at the least, she didn't seem to have a corrupted arm anymore.
Copy. Which may explain why she was weaker, because I don't remember seeing the corrupted arm in the vision.
Aren't you part corrupted, Zaman?
Oh boy, and also on top of that, both of you, as you begin to mention that, make the highest saving throws you got. Oh boy.
Ooh, boy.
And that is a total of 2 or 3 times. Yep, alrighty, highest saving throws you got, gentlemen.
Well, that is life. That is life. Well,
oh no! Well, this is about to be awkward. Oh, this is about to be real awkward.
About to be awkward.
Yep.
All right, so, oh boy. Oh god, wait, hold on. How much health do you have? Oh,
Barely any.
shit.
Yeah, we're both pretty bad.
Okay. Alrighty. Zaman, we need to have a conversation.
Okay.
Oh boy. Alright. Ah, god, this took a fucking turn for the worse. Oh my god, because you have 4 HP.
Yo, bro, y'all can just go to sleep. Why y'all doing all this talking? We could just go to sleep and go fight some ogres, bro. Y'all want to have all this conversation?
Oh god.
I wanted to go to sleep. He brought me out here. He brought me out here.
You asked the question that I couldn't answer in front of people, man.
Oh man. Okay. Oh boy.
Like that, man.
Oh boy.
Hey, this is Agni's revenge.
All right. Oh god. God damn it. Yeah, you fucking knew too. All right.
Honestly, no, I didn't.
Not you.
We can't,
Not you.
I was say, wait,
Oh god. Okay. All right. I gotta think for a second. Yeah. Give me 1 minute. Okay.
I mean, if someone's gotta die, someone's gotta die.
It is. I mean, it is what it is. I didn't know we couldn't say the word corruption.
Yeah, you did. You knew this since session 1.
The word every time someone's a whole character told us not to say it. Wasn't it like Bender Tinder or something?
It was Asta or Usta or whatever.
Yeah, somebody that said it that we shouldn't say the word.
I don't got no memory of that.
Oh no!
I don't know anything.
All right.
And didn't we talk about it with the deer?
With the deer?
Yo.
Yeah. Well, you didn't talk about it, like you didn't say a certain thing, and I was waiting for it. And well, no, you did. you freaking did. Or no. That was Zaman wanting to learn a little bit more and dive further to figure out the damage type
I did
of it.
detect magic, yeah.
Yeah, the type of school and all the other stuff, but he failed. Here's some worse. Oh god. Okay. Goodness gracious. Alright,
like
Zaman, here's what I need you to do. Oh god. I'm going to roll a dice at the moment, and I'm pretty sure, no matter what, it'll be terrible. But there's a degree of how terrible it is. Okay?
I'm liking this already. Yeah.
It's bad. But I'll be honest with you, big guy. You're about to lose something, and it's not gonna be pretty. Oh god. Alright. I need you to roll a d4 for me.
Okay.
You want to roll... Okay. 2 plus 5. That is a total of 7. Okay. I have a question. Zaman, do you have anything to reduce damage? If you have it, you're gonna want to use it.
Reduce the damage. I guess it depends on the type of damage it is.
It is astral damage.
I don't think I have anything.
Okay.
No, I only have absorb elements. No, I don't.
Hey, I mean, shit, man.
I could do absorb elements to give me resistance to damage of some sort. It's just acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder is what it says.
Oh, I see. Okay. Alright.
Other thing is I could just cast Healing Word on myself. That's about it.
Yeah, not as a reaction, sadly. Okay, nope. Nah, you don't even really have this. Okay. Here's what I need from you, then, Zaman. You can cast Absorb Elements if you want to. There's a chance you may be able to well, actually, let me not get your hopes up. 2 plus 5, 7. Yeah, you'd barely be able to survive. Just barely. By 1 HP. So there is a chance for your survival at this moment, but, I need you to make probably... Yeah, you're a Druid, so this is a Wisdom saving throw. Oh, boy. Before you do that... Oh, God. Alright. I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw, DC 20.
Oh, boy.
And I will say, before you do this, Cosmic Death is on the line, so don't fail too bad.
Okay.
I thought this is in session 5.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Well, to hell we go. There goes that campaign.
Woo, let's go.
23. Okay.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow.
That's really good.
Impressive. What?
Okay. That's what we like to see. Okay, Zaman. Now we get to have a secondary or this second part of this conversation. Oh, boy. Which one you want first? The worst one or the better one? They're both bad, but which one?
The worst.
Alright. Oh, boy. Hold on. Roll a D100 for me real quick.
While all this is happening, does Agni see anything or do anything?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Alright. You're about to see a lot in a minute, my friend.
The highs and the lows, bro. The highs and the lows.
Alright. Hey, yo, Zaman. Okay. Hey, Zaman.
Yep.
Arm or leg?
Oh, wow. I guess an arm.
Pick an arm.
Not my spellcasting arm. I guess my left arm, man.
Not my spellcasting arm.
Alright. Good to know. I'm gonna mark that down. Alright, Zaman, pick a memory.
Fuck. A memory.
Oh my god, this man's gonna be an amnesiac by the end of this campaign.
Yeah, you just keep losing memories.
Just keep losing memories. I forgot what I already lost. Oh man.
Really into character, I see.
I guess.
my
I
God.
guess I would forget. Shit. How big of a memory does it have to be?
It could be an encounter.
An encounter?
Yeah.
All right. So I think shit.
And also, you don't know whether you're gonna lose or you're gonna forget it or not. I know what's gonna happen, but
Fair enough.
Oh boy.
I think previously I forgot the spider robot fight. I think that's what we did before. So I guess the Oni fight is the next one.
Oh boy. All right. Zaman. Oh wait a minute. I'm gonna mark that down as well. Okay. That's gonna be something. All right. Zaman, you do not remember the Oni fight anymore. You do not remember the time in between when you got into the plane of dreams and when you got out.
Oh wow.
Oh boy.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. The other thing is, well, let's explain it. Agni, as you guys are kind of having this conversation, well, Agni, first what you see is the mark upon your hand begins to sort of writhe in shadows, and it begins to sort of course with an astral light. At this brief moment, you just kind of hear, oh boy. You just kind of hear these words in your head. Well, actually, I can't say it out loud, so Agni, check your DMs. And it just repeats over and over and over and over again. Oh boy. That being said, you can reveal that if you want. That information is yours. But as this happens, you watch as your arm begins to sort of turn an astral light, Agni. And it almost begins to have a mind of its own for a brief moment. You see as the Mons begins to sort of speak, and he begins to drop down onto the ground almost immediately as he begins to sort of heave and try to breathe. Even though he's a warforged, it's almost instinctually as he begins to try to gasp for air in a single breath. And as this begins to happen, you see as his entire arm begins to slowly course with an astral light, before eventually begins to crystallize directly in front of you. It begins to course with this sort of green, purple, and blue coloring. And then it shatters before you. Oh boy. You see what's left. You see what's left, almost like a remnant of maybe what could have been an arm. But at the same time, when did Zaman have another arm?
So in my eyes, he's always had one arm.
Yep. Boy. Ah, goodness gracious. That being said, Zaman, you are on the ground. And you are freaking... you are gasping for air, but it doesn't even matter how freaking hard you breathe. It doesn't seem to help or anything. At this point, as you scream out, everybody else in the cave would probably overhear this. Into the thick of things we go.
You said we would overhear it? Is that correct?
You would overhear it. I'm gonna also change this.
Oh shit.
Agni would have
Yo.
said by now.
Hey, question for you, Sensei.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember wristband had the bracelet on there?
Well, here's the thing. Let's find out. Oh boy. This man said, am I getting out scot-free, baby?
Never punished. Never punished.
Yo, I'm just asking a question that was asked to me.
Gotta ask the questions. I will be honest, I will have to fact check that at the end of the session, as I can't pull up a VOD at this moment in time. So, we will say you're not really worried about the band at the moment. You're worried about the fact that you have no arm and you're in extreme pain. I'm going to look that up, though.
Alright.
Oh my
curious.
god. Gotta ask the questions.
Lost star.
If Gore hears this, like he almost immediately runs out there, and he says, "Big one, what happened to him? Did the greedy one get into something else again?"
Agni wouldn't know at all what's going on right now. Okay. So I
Nope.
guess if everyone started running out.
Well, it depends on. Who runs out basically after hearing that? I know Gore does. Who else?
Yeah, of course Azora does.
All right. Addy, Dark, and Cora, do you guys run out or do you stay in the cave?
Cora can't see, so she's definitely out there.
All right. It's not much better, but it's a little better.
I definitely rush out, but with my great club that happens to be shaped as a bat in hand, ready for battle yet again, and I yell as I'm charging in, as I assume there's an orc or something.
All right. As you begin to yell out, you see as Gore begins to sort of, is probably the first one to get outside with his movement speed, and eventually you see as Zaman is crouched or on the ground, and he seems to be sort of almost writhing in pain about something, as just kind of like looking towards his arm. But for all of you, what's wrong with his arm? It's always been like that.
So, I know what this looks like, but Zaman and I were talking, and something seemed to afflicted him. He's mentioning his arm, but he's never had an arm there. He seems to be in extreme pain.
Azora was say, looking, like going to like hold Zaman up, and she'll say, "This is something I've heard of. Individuals having phantom pains, believing they can feel pain in a limb that is no longer there. Perhaps
all of
this
us-
is one of those episodes."
All of us look at him like it's always been that way.
Yeah. Each and
Can I do an insight check to see if it came from us trying to use the weapons to upgrade his armor? If
yeah,
that's the pain that he's using.
Yeah, make an insight check for me.
I guess Gore would be like,
A
did you try to take another shiny something? What did you do?
With an 11 on
No.
your insight check, you would have, or looking at it, it seems to be that doesn't seem to be the arm that you guys were working on, but it definitely seems to be that his sort of almost astrally corrupted arm seems to be acting up. You were wondering when it was going to happen. Seems like it's now. Hasn't done this before, though.
As I stated before, we were merely talking.
Let's get him out of the rain, into the cave near the fireplace.
Yes, we should.
I also
And
want
keep
you
your
guys to
hand
know.
off any other shiny things.
I
Really,
also want you to
please.
know how bad this looks at the moment for one individual. So you guys just walked outside. Zaman was in pain, and his entire he just seemed to be crouched down onto the ground. And Agni's like, he's chilling, bro. He's perfectly fine.
He's
Just-
a little irritated being in the rain, but yeah, it's just normal day.
Yeah.
I think Gore's used to seeing the greedy one touch enough things to get himself into mishaps, and like if anybody would be okay with him being, Gore would have been fine. Gore would definitely take his word for that situation.
That's it. All right.
I think Addy Dark would definitely be like, "Where's the threat? The pain? Were you injured? Is there an arrow?"
Is there an arrow?
No, I think he's perfectly fine in terms of.
Is this? Do tin cans usually just? Is he rusting in the rain? What is the issue?
You know, I didn't think of that. Maybe this rain is inflecting him with some type of rust. Or you might want to get inside as well.
He still might not be used to this body yet. Gore had those same problems when he first changed.
Oh my goodness.
Perhaps this is your first time being in a cave with orcs, but you shouldn't be yelling after you've just killed 8. Quiet your friend and get inside.
Azora,
Just yelling when you came out.
Azora
That was a
said,
battle yell. You must yell so they know that you're here. It was battle.
Ah, battle yell.
Azora said, we could debate or argue our actions once we get inside. Let's get him out of the rain.
All right.
And she's trying to like stand him up and walk him along.
All right. That being said,
Gor tries to help.
yeah. All right. Between all of you, you guys are able to drag them on back inside, picking him up and trying to retreat back inside. And as you guys do, oh wait, go ahead, Sean. Were you trying to do something?
Just before I go inside, I collect some water.
All right, you got it. Yeah, I got you. I assumed that you were kind of just doing that anyways, but okay. All right. Eventually, you guys return back inside. What are you guys all doing? Oh my goodness.
Zora wants to. Zora says, "Well, as much as I wanted to take a short rest, it looks like we're gonna have to rest a bit longer now. Yeah, get him warm and near the fire. I'll toss on some of this meat."
All right. That being said,
And then you rest, quick one. That new body may need rest too.
that being said, as you begin to start trying to cook the food and whatnot, oh god, Zaman, you sort of just sit there, just sort of in a pain that you have never felt before. You just feel as if everything you try to remember, everything you try to sort of recall begins to almost evade you for a brief moment. And then it returns eventually, but it's sort of a lag, a little bit of delay between it. At this moment, you kind of almost feel as if you're in shock at this point. It's almost like just going off of instinct. You see that these are familiar faces, familiar individuals. They seem to be friendly-ish, from what you remember. They seem to be surrounding you. You may be safe. You may be safe for now. But who knows for how long. Oh, God. Alright. That being said, is there anything else you guys are doing before you bed down for the evening?
Gora get back to getting it watch. I'm assuming he drunk water the first time that it went around.
Yeah, I'm assuming you guys are all sort of drinking water. Now I'm adding it as like as soon as you guys granted you need about a total of 5 for you guys. No, a total of 4 for you guys. So you just need pretty much one more and all that stuff, or one more water resource, and you guys are good to go.
Yo, Sensei, how much do I remember of what happened?
You remember going into... You remember talking to Clothis. Remember going or saying that you need to go into an Oni's domain. Remember walking into a portal. And all of that is completely blank. Until you eventually remember awakening back in the Forbidden Expanse. In the little tomb.
Okay. And then how much of... So I'm guessing the fights with how much of the fight with the spider did I remember? Do I remember just beating Glock and 40 Cal?
So yeah, you remember all that. You remember chasing after. Remember chasing after said spider. And you also remember running with Jade. And as you sort of walk down the stairs to it, all of that seems to be completely blank. You have no recollection of the Keeper or Nero. Anymore, being the, if you don't remember it, the patron deity of Kinku's and more. Yep. And you don't remember all the events afterwards until you actually like until you started talking to 40 Cal afterwards and all that stuff, and you were having conversation. Actually, no, I take that back. You would remember meeting Nero and the Keeper and all that stuff because that was after the fight. Never mind.
Copy. And then of what just happened, what is my perception of what just happened?
You just sort of felt a Well, it's kind of exactly how I described. You felt your entire sort of arm being frozen over completely, and it almost felt as if it was going to kind of just sort of this strange, just freezing pain over and over again to the point where it was almost burning you. And again, you just felt your entire arm shatter. Like, it's not the most fun pain.
I know
though.
what happened.
You know what happened, though. You know what happened.
All right. Just wanna know what I know. All right, cool.
Gotcha. All right. That being said,
before every takes like a long rest, Agni would probably just, he doesn't fully know what happened, but he doesn't want that to happen again. So he's just gonna not go off far by himself, but just like go away from like the group just a little bit.
Alright.
And he does want to go through like the items he has with him. Even though there's only 3 of them. The one in particular, the smith's tools, he kind of just wants to look at them because he doesn't remember ever doing anything with smith's tools before. So he does want to take them out, just examine all of the pieces that are in this toolkit.
Alright. That being said, as you're examining all of these sort of things, you check your inventory and you have a handful of interesting things. You're looking for exactly like what you have in the smith's tools?
Yeah, just because obviously as he doesn't remember anything, he's trying to remember why does he have these smith tools? Why does he have this scythe with him? Where did this quiver come from? So he's just kind of looking, as this is the first time we've gotten to sit down and kind of breathe, I guess.
Yeah. As you're sort of looking about and just taking inventory and whatnot, you do find as the smith's tools have a couple of hammers, tongs, even a bit of charcoal, rags, and even a little bit of a whetstone. But not much besides it. You see as they feel sort of familiar to the touch, but you can't really put your finger on why they're on your person. Why do you have sort of like blacksmith's tools? Did you take them? Are they yours? You're not sure. At this point, as you're sort of examining things, unless there is something else you want to do. Nope.
No,
All right.
Nothing in particular, really.
As this sort, keep in mind, the mark upon your hand it seems to have not stopped, and as this is sort of happening, you begin to hear as it speaks once more. Oh boy.
This mark is killing me. This mark is real talkative.
Yeah, it is. Oh boy. And you begin to hear several other voices as well. Check your DMs. That's what you hear.
Copy.
Alright. That being said, is there anything you'd like to say or nah?
Do I hear both or do I hear one?
Both. And they're distinguishably different.
I'll type it out.
You got it. Alright. Well, while you're doing that, alright. Anything else from anybody at all? Where the fuck did Addy go? Howdy, Dark, are you traversing the cave at the moment?
No, I'm just getting into this nice little nestled corner.
Gotcha. Alrighty. So, if there is nothing else happening, I need you guys to all pick who is taking... So, let me explain a couple things of how Watch works, especially for those newer. I explained it a little bit before, but to recap, if you guys want to craft anything, you guys can do it during rests. Keep in mind, if you're crafting stuff during your watch, obviously, you will make your watch's perception check with disadvantage as you're distracted because you're crafting. You're focused on that rather than keeping an eye out. For watches, you also can have multiple people keep watch at the same time. Typically, that's preferred. That you typically kind of want to have at least a buddy. You can go with, or this group can have 3 people technically, and I'll explain how in a minute. That's mainly because they have 2 Warforged in the group, and I believe Warforged don't need to sleep for long, if at all. Century's Rest. Yeah, you sleep for 6 hours in an inactive state. So, I believe Korra and Zaman, you guys are actually capable of taking 2 watches if you want to. That is a thing exclusive to your race, and a couple of others, but not many. That said, during your watches, you can do as you wish, whether it wants to be just keeping watch. You guys can talk amongst the person you're taking watch with, or you can kind of do your own thing. Or heck, if you really want to, I guess you can go exploring, but that's completely up to you. But what I need to know is who will be taking the first set, or the first of the 3 watches. I need you guys to select 1 or 2 people, or I guess 3 if you want to go that far.
Gore is definitely already out there.
Yeah, Azora will be up cooking, so.
Alright, so Azora and Gore. Is that what I'm here?
Furrow will do the second watch.
Alright, so Korra for the second watch. Anybody joining Korra for the second?
I will be doing the second.
Alright, so Addy Dark and Korra. And then for the third, is it Agni and Zaman?
Oh yeah, leave us alone together again. Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Nothing bad will happen from this.
I think Zaman is gonna be very silent for a while. So
This is gonna go. Oh no, I'm in the mood to talk now.
I'm not gonna take I'm only gonna do the short rest, so I'm gonna be up for the third watch as well.
Keep in mind, so this is a 4th thing in D&D. You kind of have to take a long rest and stuff like that, because if you don't take a long rest, then this is like basically getting your 8 hours of sleep. Then eventually your character gets tired and they start suffering exhaustion levels. Now, exhaustion levels, long story short, they're terrible. They stack on pretty fast. Meaning, like,
I think my current at the current moment, I wouldn't trust this group for more than a short rest. Like, I just wouldn't.
All right. That being said, just so you know, obviously you can do it, but just so you know the consequences of it, that would mean that you would suffer 1 level of exhaustion, and you'd have to go out throughout the whole day without it, and that means you would have disadvantage on all ability checks. With each level of exhaustion that you take, the effects get worse and worse and worse until you eventually die.
That's cool. It just hasn't been a full day. It doesn't make any sense for my character.
Okie dokie. That being said, alright, so you will stay up with...
Sensei, when you get a chance, could you just check your DMs? Just to answer my question real quick.
Gotcha. That being said, so that's the play for Addy Dog. Alrighty. So, Gore and Azora. That being said, you watch as each and every one of your companions begin to bed down for the night, you do see as it's still raining and storming outside. This doesn't seem to have changed. But, that said, is there anything you two are doing in this moment?
Like I said, she'll be cooking some of those 4 of those foods we gathered over the fire. I guess using some of those javelins to slow roast.
That being said, as you're sort of cooking the food and whatnot, managing it. That said, are you guys doing or I need, also real quick, Gore and Azora, I need you guys to both make your perception checks. Azora, you with advantage because of Oculi Sight. This is for the perception check throughout your watch. Natural 20, 23, and a 2.
That Gore. Well, I saw the 23, I was like, oh.
Oh, man. Unfortunate. But, alright, so the 23 and 2, you guys believe yourselves to be as vigilant as ever. So, Azor or Gore, is there anything you are doing throughout your, throughout this sort of watch for the next 2 or 3 hours, or is that it? Is that all you're doing?
Gore is a little bit more, like, after the last sleeping incident, he doesn't want the little ones to think that he's not on his shit. So, he's gonna stay close, like it was requested of him, but he also wants to keep an eye on the new guy because he liked this trick. Like, so he wants to not be too far away. And Thor is kind of a little bit, since he's feeling a little bit more Oni than he did before. He's more of like a like soldier mode, like he's trying to definitely.
All right. That being said, as Zora begin to simply begin to just cook throughout your watch and look around, at this point, I believe, something going on in the background.
Who's eating their mic?
He's eating their
Yo,
mic.
what is that sound, yo?
Damn, I thought I hit mute. And I was like,
Chomping.
Oh,
Munching.
Yo, I'm gonna call you Grandpa, bro.
Once per session.
Grandpa Tito, bro.
Yo, who's making a smoothie right now? That's all I could think.
That being said, Azora and Gore, your watch goes by uneventful. Eventually, you guys begin to wake the likes of Adidark and Korra. That said, you may go through that sort of whole thing.
I think
Azora would go approach Addy Dark, and she'll say, Addy Dark, wake up. She would also would have grabbed the water skin from Agni, and she'll say to him, yeah, perhaps you haven't eaten or drinking in a while. And she'll hand him the empty water skin. She'll be like, collect some rainwater before it ends, and here's some meat for you. And she'll eat some of the meat herself, and hand him the other meat on a stick in the water skin.
Easy enough. Yeah, you guys have plenty of food actually. All right. Make sure to mark that down afterwards.
Gore would well after Azora went over there, Gore would make sure to back to Azora and be like, quick one, you need to rest. I know you don't like to, but you always try to run yourself to your empty. And then Gore would go over and tap the quiet one. And tap Azora and or Korra, and be like, it's your watch now. Hopefully your new body will help you last. But if there's anything wrong, don't be stupid. Gore's here to help you, little one. And he kind of nestled himself again, like closer to where he saw the Orcs come from.
Yeah.
And he's sleeping, but he'd almost try to look like he was like he was sleeping.
That being said, Gore, you begin to bed down, and Korra, you awaken. Alright. Azora, you eventually bedding down and getting ready. And as you do, Korra and Adidark, is there anything you guys want to do during or throughout your watch?
Is this a wall here?
Yeah, this is the wall. Basically, it starts right over here. I'm just allowing you guys to see, so it's not like completely black over here, but this isn't an actual thing you can walk on or walk through.
Alright. Korra would just hang out here, and she's just gonna really be looking at her body, and just finally she gets the chance to like realize, like look at the changes, and just try to get accustomed to what her new body is. She doesn't really have much memory, except for like afterwards when she changed. So she's just basically just getting to know herself.
That being said, as you're doing so, it kind of
She's
feels...
examining another.
It kind of feels strange. It really does. Because you at least remember this, but for the first time, and pretty much, well, ever, like throughout your entire life, this is the first time you've actually haven't really went to the plane of dreams upon resting. It's a very, very sort of strange experience as you just sort of kind of sat there, motionless, not really moving, not really thinking much about anything in this sort of state. You kind of feel like disconnected from so many different things that was especially ingrained upon you since birth. But regardless, this is just how it is. And keep pushing through. That being said, Addy Dark and Cora, I need you guys to both make your perception checks for the Night Watch.
Can you do mine? My technical difficulties are still very technical and difficult.
Gotcha. Perception 13 and a 17. Alrighty. So, as this is happening, you all are just sort of keeping your watch, and eventually begins to go by and you're looking around. Addy, Dark, and Core, you guys saying anything to each other, or is it kind of just deadpan silent?
Well, she wouldn't be able to see Addy Dart, so she has no idea where he is. So she's just watching like this end, really, and just examining her bracelet, her hands. She noticed that other people had like certain things on their hands, and she's looking to see if she has it. So she's just.
I would Addy Dark would hand Cora a torch, and then say, "Watch the others. Awake if anything comes." And then I would walk into the darkness. So at least he knows I'm up.
And with that, Cora, let there be light.
So to make sure Cora's got a torch though, because apparently I need to walk her through everything in the dark.
That being said, I'm updating your token and all that stuff. But eventually, Cora, you would have seen Addy Dark sort of hand you the torch and say all those things, and then begin to go back off to where they were sort of watching. Oh gosh, not why is it that bright? My goodness. Alright, there we go. That said, at this point, Cora and Addy Dark, you both would begin to sort of, as you kind of just keep watch, you hear a sort of massive cracking sound. It seems to be from what you can tell outside of the cave, and it kind of echoes, and you even look around to see if it wakes the others, but it seems to not. But again, it's just this sort of massive sort of cracking and snapping sound from seemed to be emanating from outside. It's able to pierce at least the storm, at the very least. That said, are you guys doing anything, or are you staying inside?
She would. She would actually wake up Agni.
Alrighty. As you begin to walk over, you awaken Agni. Agni at this point is just sort of sleeping at the moment. You eventually get shaken awake by Cora. That said, what are you all doing?
She would just tell Agni that I heard there's a cracking outside the cave.
So when Agni sleeps, he actually goes into his shell. So you would see him like come out of his shell, look at you, and what is it exactly? Did you investigate?
No, I didn't want to leave the group alone. But it was loud enough to pierce the storm. I'm surprised it didn't wake you guys. Your shell must be soundproof.
The shell is a lot of things. I don't believe it is soundproof. I have been told I'm a deep sleeper. I didn't hear the sound myself. Do you want me to investigate it?
Yeah, we can step outside. I let Azura and Gore sleep because they just went to sleep. So, if it's nothing, I don't want to wake them.
Hey, Agni, I have a serious question that's been on my mind, burning for like the entire campaign.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, how does Agni go inside of his shell with those big ass horns?
Very carefully. The shell is on it. It's actually like a Pokeball. So it's like it's a magical pocket dimension. Some might say like a bag of holding.
I
Where
see,
he
I
could
see.
just go in and he's just perfectly fine.
Gotcha. Alright, that was just for me. Anyways, continue. Alright.
So Agni would follow Korra to investigate whatever this is.
Korra would tell Addie Dart to watch over the group. They're gonna investigate the loud sound that they heard outside. That she heard outside.
Yeah, I would have saw that. Like the minute you went to go wake up Agni, I would have walked back because I can see you folks. Because I can see in the dark. It's not a big deal. And yeah, I'd be like, yeah, go see what that was.
Alright.
Are you sure you want to go out in the rain? You saw what just happened to Zaman.
I've been in the water before. Didn't really affect me.
That's said. Alrighty. So, as you guys begin to head back outside to the cave, I'm just also, the only reason I'm like changing like the night and day thingy is because the lighting messes up whenever we switch maps for whatever reason. So, I just change it back. But as you guys are sort of continuing outwards, the likes of Adidark, Agni, and Korra, the rest of you all asleep. That being said, where you guys or head to or to investigate?
Well, Addie Dart is with the group.
Or excuse me, yeah, my bad.
And Korra wouldn't really go far for the group. She's just looking at anything that she sees in her peripherals. And if she don't see nothing, then nothing's really of note at that point. And I don't know if they can still hear the sounds for her to even say, "Hear that sound right there," or
That being
I mean, at
said,
most she'll still like hear and she'll look up like this way, or she'll look over here.
yeah, I'll tell you what. Make a perception check, Korra. You too, Agni, if you want to.
Sure. It's out here to look.
Alright, 14 and an 8. So, as you look out towards this area, you see where there is, or where there was, a massive tree off to the side. And it seems to have completely sort of snapped and given way. Now, you look over to it, and now granted, it's far, far off in this direction and whatnot, from what you can tell. You can barely sort of see it. But, granted, if it wasn't for the gravity, it might have sort of shook boulders and rocks of the entire mountain. With your perception check, Korra, with a total of 14, it seems, from what you can tell, that it doesn't seem to have any sort of slash marks on it or anything like that. But again, you are very, very far away from it, so it's kind of hard to tell from here. But it doesn't seem to have been maybe an external force from what you can see, but again, it's just really hard to tell from your position.
So it's still night out, right?
Yeah, it is still night out. Granted, you do have a torch,
yeah.
but
there is no way she would see it that far. She would just assume maybe it was a loud thunder, lightning. She would just try to wait to see if there's a second one, and if she doesn't hear anything, she would just apologize to Agni for waking them up.
Hear that, but you do begin to see a couple of other things. You see, as there are sort of several bird-like creatures amongst the area. They seem to begin to sort of flock around, almost investigating. However, the birds themselves, they don't seem to be made of sort of flesh and feathers, but instead mechanical gears, similar to the wolf from earlier. You watch as they almost seem to be surrounding the entire area, but some off to the side over here, others off to the side over. Trying to get the thing. There we go. Some off to the side over here as well, and they seem to just be sort of going about, kind of just scanning off to the side.
Can I see the ones that are over here?
Yeah, you could see that easy enough with your 14.
Can I see how many there are?
There seems to be, from what you can count, roughly about 8 or 7, maybe 9. Kind of a little bit hard to see throughout the rain, but you can at least guesstimate.
Okay. She would tell Agni that at about, let's see, 1 o'clock, give or take, basically pointing in this direction. About these, she will tell them that there's a dozen of bird-like creatures over there, and I don't remember seeing them when we were out here when Zamad was screaming.
No.
I mean, they could just be looking for food. Perhaps they're nocturnal.
Perhaps. I don't think those creatures would be something that would make a loud noise. But there are a dozen of them, so maybe together they could have created it. They don't look like regular birds. They look like some form of machinery or something that maybe was produced.
Well, I would say in the morning we can investigate the tree, but for now I would probably chalk this up to lightning. If lightning is a thing.
Agreed.
If this satisfies you, I'd like to go back to bed.
Yeah. Apologies for waking.
I understand it's better to be safe than sorry.
That being said, you guys continue back towards the cave, and Cora, as you're sort of walking back in, you sort of glance back for a moment, and you see as sort of the thunder begins to course and a little bit of lightning courses amongst the sky, similar to like what Azora saw from earlier. You do see for a brief sort of flash, and then it's gone, but you see a sort of beast with colorful sort of feathers, but with these sort of jagged antlers, this sort of strange head to them. And you see as it kind of almost has like the face of a strange deer, but also the sort of feathers and wings like a bird. The wings sort of massive and expanded outwards. And you see as several other creatures reside beside it. Now this creature in specific, it doesn't seem to be mechanical. It seems to be made of flesh. But just as the light begins to sort of shine over it from the lightning, you look back towards it again and it's gone.
Cora would look around the area and above her in case it flew near, and if she doesn't see it, she'll just go inside the cave. If she doesn't feel like it's an immediate threat, then she will go into the cave.
Oh, I should also say, definitely the creature, it was massive in size. Nowhere near the size of these other birds. It was probably, do you have a memory? No, you don't. It was roughly about 15 feet tall. Roughly. Probably shorter, but, Alright.
Roughly 15 feet.
That said, you guys continue back into the cave and return.
You said 15 feet wide or tall?
15 feet tall, and you saw as its wings were expanded. You didn't really get a close enough look for, or a long enough look to be able to tell how massive its wingspan was, though.
Okay.
That said, you guys eventually head back into the cave and whatnot. Addy Dark, you do also notice as they begin to return back, and as they do, is there anything else you guys like to do?
She would just continue to look at her body, and just look at her bracelet, and try to figure out like how it was put on. She tried to examine, possibly thinking about taking it off, but she's not going to do it
Damn,
because
phone
when she
is,
looks
like,
at
going
everyone
crazy.
else,
I had to shut it off.
they have bracelets on, so she was just noticed like certain things like that. But she would just keep it all to herself and just keep mental notes.
Alright. That being said,
She definitely read the bracelet, by the way.
okay.
I don't know if you want to just DM me that part.
Oh, we're trying to figure that out. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold up. Give me one moment. I gotta go find my old notes. Where would it be? It's not here. Blah, 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 da, da, da. Okay. So what you see and you're able to read again is sort of those numbers and whatnot. Again, same sort of thing that I mentioned before, but again, you're probably going to want to you're going to need a sort of, to probably figure out where the heck you guys are first before they're probably useful.
Right.
That said, alright. Cora and Addy Dark, if you guys continue your watch and you begin to bed down for the evening, then eventually your rest goes by, for the most part, uneventful. At that point, you guys eventually do, if you want to, wake Zaman and Agni back up a couple of hours afterwards, as you guys do.
Cora will go to Zaman, do like a light shake, and tell Zaman, you're up next. And then I assume Zaman is awake now.
That's up to him, whether he wants to try to ignore it or not. You're muted, by the way, Zaman, if you're trying to speak. There you go.
He looks at you and that's about it.
Okay. He would tell Zaman that it's that he's up, and then he'll just make note that that she heard a loud noise outside. It was a loud noise, and to be aware of that. Also that she saw a dozen or less of like these mechanical birds, and that there was a tree that is completely knocked down, but there's like no marks or anything that she can see of. And she noticed it because it wasn't like that when they were outside originally. So she's basically giving Zaman like, the rundown of her watch.
Yeah.
And then she will also mention that there was possible some big beast-looking thing outside also to be aware of if he happens to go outside.
He was nod.
It was what?
Nod.
Oh, he just nods?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then he goes over, knocks on Agni's shell, and then just lets Agni know that it's his turn.
Alright.
Understandable.
And she also apologized to Agni again for waking him up earlier than supposed to.
No apologies necessary. If you didn't, something bad would have happened. be in a worse situation than me losing a little bit.
Do you? Oh, okay, never mind. Actually, yeah. Do you still have the water skin on you? Who has the water skin?
I
Gave the
believe.
water skin.
I believe it's
Gave it to
Addy
Azora,
Dark.
and Azora gave it to Addy Dark.
That's what I was thinking.
So
Yep.
can I fill the water skin up?
Yeah, if you want to. Granted, you don't really need to drink, so it's just
Right, I want to get. It's
yeah.
just a gesture for Agni, so she's gonna go and fill it up and give it to him.
Easy enough. You can do that. Throughout like you're just being or going back outside. Well, granted, do you go back outside to do all that stuff?
You know, that's the question. No, I think if she would have saw that bird, she would probably create water and fill it up that way.
You said say that again.
She would most likely create water and fill it up that way.
That spell is banned, my friend. If you're
Oh,
talking
never
about the
mind
create
then.
water spell.
You can create water?
Yeah, that spell is
Never-
big banned.
Never mind.
Big
Fuck
thing.
yeah, she'll go outside then.
Alright, you got it.
Trying to use cheat codes, boy. Trying to use cheat codes.
He
Alright.
put it in work.
Quick question before you go outside. These birds, have you mentioned this to Addy Dark?
Actually, yeah, good point. When I go get the skin from him, I would just tell him that what I also give Addy Dark the rundown. Also, he saw the dozen birds. He saw a big bird out there. She
Big
Big
bird.
bird.
Be careful.
Big bird, bro?
Out
Boy.
Where's Big Bird?
she would actually ask Addy Dark to assist with the water just in case there's some rah rah going on.
Oh man. Also,
See
Gordon
that-
received an inspiration point from chat.
Yeah, she's still a little hoit from that last battle, so she ain't feeling a hundo right now.
If there was ever a time where you deserved it, that was that right there. That was that moment.
Yeah, bees like that, man.
That's
So she would ask Addy if Addy wouldn't mind coming out there real quick to help her watch while she fills up the water.
Alright, also, let me explain this. So real quick, so Addy Dark, because you would have gotten your short rest done. Let me go over this thing. So Addy Dark, what you're going to want to do, because now that you've short rested and all that, double click on your token. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the top part left of your screen, and you're going to hit the short rest button right there. It is top left. It is kind of next to the character image.
I'm still in Struggle City right now.
Struggle City, I gotcha.
It's bad.
What are you doing?
It's bad, bro. I'm back home, bro. I'll let you just figure the
Oh,
rest
he's
of it
back
out.
in Mother Russia. You know how that go.
Yeah, bro. Oh, you know how it is back in Siberia, bro.
Back inside.
You know how it is in Siberia, bro.
Alrighty, I gotcha. I'm gonna roll for.
You gotta make sure nobody picks up the phone while he's using.
Definitely running off a toaster right now.
Bro, if only you knew what this setup was, bro.
That
I'm
man
over
is
here
in the
cranking,
Arctic.
I'm cranking a little wheel over here to keep power generating. You don't even know.
Oh no! Goodness. Also, Agni, you received an inspiration point from chat. But Addy Dark, are you heading outside with Cora or nah?
Yeah, I will walk out, but who's the other person that was up? Was Agni? Was the other person?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like getting up, I guess,
Yeah.
to take a
Gotcha.
watch.
I would.
But Zaman is up though.
Yeah, Zaman is.
Zaman is, bruh, useless. Um,
God damn.
bro.
Wow.
I'm gonna go to Agni and tell him that if you hear anything to wake Gore, he has the night vision. These caverns are. I did a little traversing earlier. They're quite cavernous for sure, and it's like a labyrinth. So, and then I would head out with my Cora. There it is.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Didn't want to say anything back, anyways. Cool.
All right, go ahead. Say something back.
No,
Go ahead.
no, you're gone. You're gone, man. You're already
All
gone.
right. All right. This is how it all starts, folks. One slight gesture of a pin is how wars
Man.
started, bro.
You made quite the slight, sir.
Didn't wanna say-
Just like that, it all goes down. Alright, so at this point, at this point, Addy Dark and Core, you guys eventually begin to come back outside, and as you do, Cora, you see as the birds still are there. In fact, actually, there is one kind of right outside this sort of cave. And you see, or as you see as they get, or as they're close, they seem to just be sort of looking around at this point, looking towards the ground. You even see as there are several other birds and whatnot that are also just surrounding the cave at this point. They don't seem to be doing anything. They notice you for sure, but
Cora was to tell Addie that these are the birds that she was referring to, and then she'll also like lowly say that there was a much bigger one that I saw for a brief second, but I don't see that one. But these ones that are surrounding us, these birds are the ones that I was telling you about. They don't seem.
Can I mean, I guess I would know if they're fleshy birds or not. I assume being a man from a hunter clan of some sort. But yeah, maybe I should just roll to know if they're fleshy birds or mechanical birds or what's going on. They fleshy birds?
Yeah, make a nature check. So I gotcha. Do you need me to make that for you?
Yeah, I'm. And
Gotcha.
please, yes, please.
So 14 with a 12. From what you can tell, getting a good look at this thing, they seem to be kinda. Well, actually, hold on. They seem to be purely mechanical, from what you can tell. And from what it seems to be, it's a very, very highly advanced sort of material. Nothing like you've ever seen before. Core, on the other hand, it definitely is something you've seen kind of before. Well, actually, you don't have your memory, so... more closest thing you've seen is the wolf from earlier, but that's it.
So she would say that these remind me of the wolves we fought earlier. Like the same type of material. But except for these don't seem as hostile as the wolves were. And but while they're talking, she's filling up that skin, by the way.
Mm-hmm. As this is happening, both of you make a perception check. I got you, Addy Dark. 6, and then for Cora, 16. Addy, you're just kind of looking around the area. You don't really see much, but Cora, you begin to see just almost a sort of streaking light of just red fly overhead for a brief moment and then vanish.
Cora would ask Addy, did he see that? Did he notice the light in the sky?
Actually, yeah. Did my roll allow me to see it or not?
No, you did not.
I saw nothing but more birds.
Is the skin almost filled?
Yeah, but one thing you would see is as all of the birds begin to sort of start flapping immediately and begin to sort of fly off to this area, off to the side. You would even see the one in front of you would begin to do so as well.
She would tell Addy the skin is filled and we can go back in the cave.
All right. As you do. Oh boy. Cora, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. That's not
19.
bad.
As you begin to sort of walk forward, begin to feel your movements begin to slow for a brief moment in time. And as this sort of happens, you feel as if you almost want to sort of drop down and off to the side over to the right. But eventually, you right yourself and you're able to keep on going. But that said, it seems to be that everything's okay, but also this sort of strange thing also begins to sort of form amongst you. As this happens, you kind of feel, you too, Addy Dark, which is the strange thing, you feel as if almost your bones begin to sort of, well, almost your muscles begin to sort of tense for a brief moment. You feel as if almost kind of this sort of weight upon you begins to sort of, it's kind of hard to explain, but kind of grow even larger and larger, but then it sort of vanishes and dissipates for now. That said, you guys sort of both look at each other for assurance that, hey, did you see that? And in fact, you guys did, but not entirely sure what it was. It sort of tripped you up for a brief moment, and walking's a little bit harder, but you're good to go for now. That said, do you guys continue back into the cave?
Yeah.
Alright,
And,
that's it.
she would also say, well, maybe this is what happened to Zaman when he was out here, while he was crying.
Thank you guys for the raid. Appreciate you. Sorry I'm not able to
Yeah, that's what
respond
she said to
immediately and
Addy.
all that stuff, but I am DMing and all that
she comes
stuff.
back
But
in,
much love to you guys,
she
Carney
gives
Sideshow. You
Agni
guys are
the
freaking
skin,
awesome. Thank you
and
guys so
she'll
much.
tell him, it's filled. And she will also let him know that there was a lot more birds out there when her and Addie was just out there, and they all seem to be going into one particular direction, which is to the right. They didn't attack or anything; they weren't doing anything, but they're out there. And she won't really speak for Addie Dark, but she will say that she felt some weird tension within herself that maybe that's why Zamad was crying. So there's something with the cave or something that's around the cave that might have been this might be affecting us, and we just don't know yet.
And kind of as you begin to say
He
this,
will shake his head.
oh boy.
Understood, Cora.
Oh, I'm
Probably
muted.
will not
Oop,
use
I was
this
muted.
very
Sorry about that.
much
So,
until you guys wake up.
Cora, as you're sort of explaining this and saying this to Agni, you feel that sort of same sensation once more. The same with you, Addy Dark, and the same with you, Agni, as well. Even you, Zaman, you guys kind of feel as if some sort of force is sort of going amongst you, or almost pressing upon your shoulders and almost forcing you down to the ground. It's sort of strange and external, and you all begin to hear, those awake, this sort of screeching pain, this almost a wail of a sort of figure as it pierces through your ears. The screaming seems to be feminine in nature as they sort of yell out in this sort of pain before eventually it ceases. And as it does, I need each and every single one of you who are awake to make a strength saving throw for me. Oh boy. Alright.
I am surprised.
6, 17, 23. Oh no, no, please.
Chris
no,
rolls
please.
so many
No,
20s
please.
in this campaign. It's ridiculous.
I swear, bro. Oh, not one. Man, what is this like sort of? Alright, we go. Alright, here's a 20, here's a 1. Here's a 20, here's a 1. Over and over
certain
again.
that it's like that.
Go
That's
ahead.
what it is. The Thomas the train engine is down.
Tom's the train engine takes the
Yeah.
natural 20s away.
Yeah, I'm about to switch my dice to the Thomas now.
No,
Yeah, 'cause
please.
this guy, he gets like 2 crits each session at least.
No,
At
please. He really does, though. That's not even a joke.
minimum.
But regardless, back to the game. So, as this is sort of happening, you guys all feel, or each and every one of you, you feel your bones and muscles begin to almost as if they're cracking, and the weight you carry becomes heavier and heavier. And I believe that is Agni, that is Addydark. Cora and Zaman, you are fine. But Addydark and Agni, you immediately just plummet directly down to the ground, fallen prone. You each and every, or all of you, begin to sort of feel the sort of movements that you try to take. They seem to be strenuous. It seems to take more effort than usual. A complete sort of 180 shift from earlier with that of the low gravity. And that being said, let me explain. So, for high gravity, this is what occurs. Each and every single one of you, including Azora and Gore, but they're just asleep at the moment. Your jump type is completely halved. You have disadvantage on all strength and dexterity checks, and fall damage is doubled. Also, granted, every movement you do is a strenuous activity, as you have to exert yourself even further to the point of almost exhausting yourself from just simple activities. That being said, as you all are kind of like struggling to sort of stand yourselves back up, you're able to do so, but it definitely takes a little bit of effort. What are you all saying? What are you all doing?
Cora would just say, this is the feeling that I was feeling when we were outside the cave. It lasted for a brief moment, but I believe this is now what's happening to all of us. But I notice it doesn't happen to those who are asleep. So perhaps when we are awake, it only affects us, but when we're asleep, perhaps it doesn't.
You would probably understand.
Or maybe they just don't
oh,
notice.
God damn it, I'm muted again. I keep fucking muting myself. Granted, you'd probably understand, Cora. The reason why they don't, like, Azora and Gore don't seem to be affected is because they were already on the ground. You would just be able to easily tell that.
Never mind then. Yeah, this is pretty much what I felt outside the cave. But it only lasted, a couple seconds for me. I'm not sure about Addy. This one seems a lot stronger.
This feeling of feeling heavier seems to occur after that bestial screech. It seems like things around here have changed. And Agni's gonna kind of lift up like his scythe and I guess kind of notice that it's heavier, high gravity. Yeah, it's like a higher gravity. You guys should get your rest, but hopefully when you wake up, things will go back to at least what we define as normal.
Cora nods, and she will stay here and power down.
Alright.
Quick random side note, the saving throws, I see the strength rolls and everything, but where is the saving throws?
Oh, I gotcha. Oh, yeah, you weren't able to make it. I got you, buddy. So all you're gonna do is you just double click on your token. You click on like strength, like the name of strength, and then when you do so, it'll ask you ability check or saving throw. Hit saving throw, and you'll be good to go then.
Gotcha.
All right, let's see what happens. That being said,
we're taking a long rest. Well, my car's taking a long rest.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, with the 20 Addy
I think
Dark,
I
you
was
would
able
have
to
been.
get it.
Yeah. Don't hit the long rest button just yet.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Oh man, this man was ready to hit that long rest button. Oh goodness. Man, oh man. Well, you
I'm
gained
losing
6.
an arm.
Goodness gracious. Hold on, I got you. -6. I don't know about your spell slots, but we're just gonna guesstimate, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna say you got 1 spell slot left and call it a day. All right.
Fair.
All right. That being said,
So So with that, so does the gravity affect me then, or does it not
So
affect
the
me?
gravity does affect you. You just don't fall on your ass, pretty much.
Oh.
You're able to sort of, you do definitely feel the effects, but you, especially being probably like one of the stronger individuals, if not the strongest, you definitely are able to sort of steal your resolve, get a hold of yourself, and kind of fight through it. But it definitely is it's nothing you're or used to, so you can definitely acknowledge it.
Roger, Roger.
All right. That said,
Um,
oh good.
yeah, so Agni and Zaman are the two that are up right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I'm gonna stay up this watch again. I know there's the penalty and whatnot, but I think with the birds and everything, my character would definitely be even more paranoid right now.
Wait, that wasn't the third watch?
No, that was well, the third watch is starting right now.
Wow.
Like this is kind of like during through it, but that said, Agni, anybody who is awake, just make some perception checks, and we're good to go. Natural 20. Oh boy, wait a minute. Hold on. Did you get the Thomas? Did you get the Thomas dice?
I'm not Tom. No, I'm good.
Well, I have good news for you, Agni. All right. So, Agni, as you're sort of keeping a watchful eye, you're looking about just to make sure of all your surroundings, and you feel as your eyes begin to just sort of shoot wide open. I mean, and just sort of scan each and every single area. It kind of becomes and feels sort of reminiscent for a brief moment. You sort of almost have a sort of flashback, a memory of you sort of scanning multiple battlefields, coming up with the most tactical decision and the most efficient sort of play, and all the sort of bits of tactics needed for it. And as you begin to sort of have these different visions and memories, it all begins to feel a little bit natural. As you know, with the amnesiac background, you gain proficiency in perception. That being said,
You just added that automatically.
yep, it's just a button press.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yep.
Thank you.
No problem. That being said, throughout your watch, it seems to go by uneventful for the most part, and eventually, you guys are able to finish that of your rest, and you guys all gain the benefits of a long rest. That said, oh boy, as you guys are doing that, we need to make a couple of decisions. I think you guys actually might be good, though. Yeah, actually, good stuff. You guys were actually able to have all the resources that you needed, water-wise, so I'm gonna take away all of that. And you guys were able to have also all the food resources that you needed, or food-wise. Hold on, that was the Essence Water. I'm gonna change it to Valley of Dreams, my bad. Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, we do good.
Boom, boom. And you only needed 4 people because you have 2 Warforged and then they don't need to eat or drink. Boom. So right now you guys are at 1 out of 5 food, 0 out of 5 water until you get more, 0 out of 5 mana, 4 out of 5 materials, 3 out of 5 soul coins, and 0 out of 5 medicine. Good stuff. That being said, as you guys begin to slowly awaken and whatnot, you look about and it seems to be that, as you guys almost figured, day hasn't changed yet. Oh, by the way, Tito, we can hear your mic and all that.
Oh, my bad.
Good. I was making sure for you. But yeah. That being said, you guys look out, and it seems to be that the rain has stopped for the most part. It's definitely not raining anymore, but it definitely is still nighttime outside. That said, as you all awaken, is there anything you guys like to do before you all head out? And also, does anybody need help hitting the long rest button or figuring out how to do that? And I gotcha.
We do that shit right now.
Alrighty. I said.
As everybody wakes up and rested, eating, doing whatever, Azora say, Nell, I hope everyone is rested up. We have two choices now. We either continue our climb upwards, the plan A, or plan B. See what is in this cave. I see there was 3 ways. The well was of interest in the 2 doorways up north. Perhaps we could find supplies there, or perhaps more trouble.
The
Well,
Orcs weren't here
outside,
for no reason. Oh, I'll say.
outside seems to still be dark. I think it might be best if we continue the climb when it's daytime again. Perhaps the cave for right now is our best option.
She nods to you. Agreed.
We should at least check the well. And quick one. The Orcs didn't come at night. You may have cleared wherever. This may be a good spot for.
Yeah. She
we should be careful. There's also a shift in there seems to be a shift in gravity. My body feels heavier.
Yes,
it may
that
not be-
seemed to happen last night. There was a loud bird screech. Gravity seemed to be affected by the screech, or just happens to be a coincidence.
Keep in mind the screech didn't sound like from a
Gore
bird.
zips around.
It sounded like from a.
The Gore zips around. Is he moving just as fast as he was moving before when he felt like he was moving faster?
No, but one thing. So the screech or the screaming, it didn't sound like that of a bird. It sounded like a woman.
Change my notes.
And it sounded like a woman that was probably in pain.
Okay.
well, either
So
way.
did the screech slow down Gore as well?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're slowed down.
everybody is.
All right, copy.
All of all that whole stuff. It's bad.
She said, well, let's stick together and start to explore. We could go to the well first and then make our ways to the rooms up north.
I proposed the well.
All right.
She's gonna grab like, one of these wood sticks and ask Agni to like light.
I assumed Agni would have like lit 2 or 3 of them just off
Alright.
once waking up.
Easy enough.
Copy.
So,
Yeah, she'll move towards the well.
alrighty. You guys can move as you wish.
So is our movement speed halved?
Your movement speed is not half. We're not using difficult terrain, but it definitely is a struggle to walk. Like, you guys just getting over here. Hold on, stop right there, Zora. You guys even getting over here, it took you guys a minute. A lot longer than usual, but eventually you guys are able to reach it. As you approach this sort of area, you find as Zora's beside a sort of larger sort of chest, but you also see a well off to the side. It seems to be it doesn't really have a way down, or it doesn't, not necessarily way down. It doesn't seem to have any sort of way to lift yourself down, and it also doesn't seem to have any water in it. From what you can tell, it just seems to be complete darkness down below, similar to the map. Up ahead, you do see, kind of where Agni is, you do see a sort of door not too far from here. That doesn't seem to be like barricade or anything like that. Can be opened easy enough. That said, what do you guys want to do?
Goa, do you want to get a deeper look into this well, as you have the
No.
dark vision and can fly?
This is not a good idea,
That sounds like a terrible idea.
especially with the gravity being heavier. Let's just cut our losses here and suggest that this well is not for our eyes.
Gore would be like, who had the rope last?
Zora has the rope.
I'm gonna drag your character
Addy Dark would throw a torch down the well to see how deep it is.
Hold on, because your character can't even see. I'm gonna just control your character, Addy Dark, like control them moving so you can actually see stuff. Cause I don't know what you can control at the moment and what you can't.
Yeah, I'm like Twitch screen right now, bro. That's
Gotcha,
how bad
gotcha.
it is.
Alright. I mean, so you just let me know if you want to do anything else, and I got you.
All right, thank you.
All right, so say that one more time. What were you guys trying to do?
Gore would ask, like, do you still have the rope, quick one? I could bring it down with me, and if something goes wrong, you could pull me right.
Azora says, yes, I had the rope, but just because you're able to do something doesn't mean that it's best you do it. We just got ourselves in enough trouble, and then I not just gave the speech just last night about having to move smarter in the strange land. Right now we're low on supplies, be it food, water, materials. We don't know where we are. We lost Jade. This is not the time to be going down deep, dark holes in the ground. We're already using up all our resources and picking people up off the ground. There's no need to be putting ourselves in more perilous danger. Not the least until we figure out where the hell we are.
Wells have water, quick one. Maybe the green orcs have delved into it deep. But if there's more water, that's something we obviously...
Those creatures glowed with some form of astrolites. Something tells me they were not they was not into drinking anymore.
For all we know, they could piss down this well.
When Addy Dark threw the torch down there, can we see how far it went?
That was the thing I was saying. Okay, so because I thought I heard somebody say that. All right, so Addy Dark, you threw a torch down here?
Yeah.
All right, everybody who's looking in the well, make a perception check with sight. And that's anybody who's looking down the well, though.
Does dark vision help at all? Does that give any advantage?
Yeah, I'll say so.
What is it, control?
Alt.
To roll with advantage?
Yeah, alt for advantage.
Oh wait, did I roll myself with disadvantage?
Yeah, you rolled disadvantage. I got you. Don't worry. I'll look at the higher one. The higher one wasn't really that much better. Yeah, 8. Okay, so 8, a 3 for Addy Dark, a 22 for Korra, and an 18 for Zaman. So as you guys begin to look on down there, it seems to be going and going and going, and Korra with your 22 and Zaman, you able to see this? Well, Korra, you're able to at least see as there is a bit of water all the way at the bottom, and it seems to be rushing, as if it's moving and whatnot. Zaman, Korra, but you also begin to hear as it kind of sounds like a sort of like just water rushing and maybe like a waterfall.
Okay. Korra would say that it's definitely moving water. I can't really see which direction it's going, but I can hear. I have a good sense that it's definitely moving water.
Moving water, safe water. Quick one. We're not here to argue, but we do need more water.
Oh, and I guess I should also say, it was a long drop on the way down. If you could probably guess, maybe 40 feet.
Azora said,
yeah, 40, 30 feet.
Close enough.
Azora said, we only have one water skin and it is already full. There is no reason to place yourself in a perilous position when the gravity is just heavy just to do what? Carry water back in your hands up here? Let's just continue to move. It's good we noted that there's water here. If we ever in a position where we have more water skins, perhaps we'll come back. But for now, that is a perilous thing to do for little reward.
For someone who got a full night's rest, you sure sound a bit cranky there.
She is looking at you, and she'll say, this, Adidak, you're new to the team, but let me tell you, my goal is to make sure everybody gets where they need to be safe. I already feel bad we lost one member. I'm not trying to lose more.
The quick one doesn't sleep that. that's basically Gore talking to Addy about Azora.
You cut out there for me. Sorry.
Oh no. Gore look at Addy and be like, the quick one doesn't sleep that much. I wonder if this is why.
Sorry. One more thing. Above, is that like a door above, or is that just a wall to the top?
that is a door.
Azora wants to place her ear on it, like, could she hear like sounds on the other side? Is it quiet?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Wait,
This is
while they
not
do
with
that,
advantage.
Is this like a chest that's here?
Yeah,
Can Addy like investigate it
sure
while
thing.
they're all looking down the well and stuff?
Make an investigation check. Zora, with the 5, you don't really seem to hear anything on the other side.
She wants to investigate the knob to see if there's like booby trapped or anything, or can I just look and see?
Make an investigation check, looking for any hidden traps and all that.
Okay.
Dang, back and forth. Hey, I don't know what happened. I guess y'all just begged for the Thomas the Tank Engine, and maybe he heard you or something. But Agni, with your 15 on your investigation check, you would see as the chest definitely does seem to be locked, but it doesn't seem to have any sort of trapping mechanisms from what you can tell. It's
Could
definitely
I tell
going
what
to
type
be.
of lock it is? Like a simple like padlock or something?
Yeah, just a simple padlock. If any of you were to have thieves' tools, you could try to pick it. If not, you can maybe try to break the lock, but good luck. It's a more than like a possibility, but you know.
Okay. Agni would just tell that to everyone. I don't think anyone has thieves' tools on them though.
No.
Azora, if you say that out loud, Azora say, perhaps this key is around.
We can always come back.
Agreed. And she wants to proceed through this. Oh wait, so with that investigation check, is there any booby traps or anything?
Yeah, you step over to the right and everybody blows up, but no. Nah, it's just a door from what you can tell.
Alright, yeah, so she goes to open the door.
Alrighty. Also, real quick. No, you already got that. Never mind. Alright. So, you open the door. You guys can continue forth.
Zaman, are you feeling any better after resting?
Are these like statues?
So, as you come into this area... Oh, boy. Hold up. 1 second. Oh, alright. So, as you come into this area,
I'm muted, but real quick before you say something terrible, Gore would try to yell out, like, before he'd see the quick one open up the door. Be like, quick one, do you just want to go around opening doors? I could tell you where the Orcs came from. At least we could try there first. But if you already to the door, it's already too late. I'm going to go ahead and take this L. Seems quick ones move.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd. You're talking about being careful, and then you just start opening up doors.
That's what the whole investigation check was for.
Yeah, y'all saw her like looking and like pressing her ear amongst the door, and then also examining it.
She's being quite careful. I don't know what I'm talking about.
bro, you're afraid of wells, but not doors.
True story. Right now, Gore is on the side of Addy. He's like, yo. Like, at least I saw where the Gordor came from.
Yo,
between a dark 40-foot well with water that we can't get to versus.
No. I'm saying Gore. I say Gore said that the Orcs didn't come from.
So I want y'all to know, like Addy Dark and Gore, y'all did see Azora walk up to the door, place her ear amongst that door, look at all around, like sort of pressing upon it to see if it's trapped or anything, and then after sort of confirming it, then going inside. Just so you know. She wasn't really like subtle about it or like trying to hide like her trying to go through it, so you would have seen it.
I would have just Gore would have been distracted for just a brief moment. Like I don't think he's starting not to be.
Oh boy.
Because everybody has said something a little bit too safe to him.
Is this a
It
face?
caused a little bit of chaos.
Say that again?
Is this a face right here?
No, that is not a face over there.
Oh, okay.
But you do see, as there are several sort of statues about, and they seem to be just, or some for the most part seem to be scattered or shattered, but others sort of remain strong. The statues themselves, they are, you see several sort of individual. You see several sort of individuals. They seem to be a little bit weirdly depicted. That said, I need all the people from Jaded Dragon Valley to make a history check for me.
I'm technically from there, correct? Because we have to pick one place for voting.
Yeah, you're technically from there. So, well, not really. No, you're not. I don't even think you're from there. You're from hell. No.
You don't have to say that so casually.
I mean, it is what it is, my man.
Oh, just checking.
Yeah, you're from hell. Also, hold up. Thank you, Fires, for the raid. You guys are freaking awesome. Appreciate you. I am DMing at the moment, so I won't be able to pay too much attention, though. Sorry about that. But thank you guys again. You guys are awesome. Alright, continue. So, with a, so Azora, 16. Zaman, that's also you. And you too, you as well, Cora. Alright, 18, double 18s, and a 16. Alright. So, what you see is it's a strange sort of thing, but they seem to be kind of devilish individuals from what you can tell. But they don't seem kind of, but not necessarily like acne, but to an extent. The way their bodies are sort of shaped and formed is definitely sort of strange. They kind of have almost... It's not... Oh man, how do I explain this? It's kind of like they have these sort of strange hoods that are kind of like blocking the face. Now granted, because it's a sort of stone statue, you can't really make up any facial features. But that being said, the way they sort of look, the way their bodies are sort of formed and shaped, you've heard stories of these individuals, of the many spirits that sort of roam the lands of Jaded Dragon Valley. These, from what you can tell, they definitely seem to be yokai of the sorts. Specifically, oh boy, now I get to go into this sort of thing. That of the Akuyama, which again is my sort of version of the Akuma and whatnot. They're essentially a demon yokai, similar to the Oni that you guys fought before. Now, granted, why the heck they're here, not entirely sure. But you do know they are here for this moment in time, and someone built them here, or something built them here.
Noted.
I guess Zaman will say, just out loud.
Also, nah, that's all that's relevant at the moment, so that's all you get for now.
Copy. Zaman would say, yokai, yeah? We should be careful.
Agreed.
Do they not normally show up here?
They are quite powerful beings. I guess devilish in nature, but not necessarily evil. They could cause trouble for disturbing something of their sanctuary, which it seems to semi be.
We could just continue to press on. This is quite the discovery. Let's not linger in the sacred grounds.
I agree.
Alright. At this point, Zaman, as you begin to sort of head over here, you do see something off to the side. As you get a little bit closer, you see a sort of statue of the sorts, and it seems to have these sort of strange gems embedded into the eyes. You have to get a little bit closer for your token to see. But you also see over off to the right, as there is a sort of another shattered statue before you. And it seems to be the other secondary statue just sort of staring at it. in where its eyes sort of sockets are, you see as there are two sort of green or crystals that are kind of just glowing about.
Oh, temptation.
I mean, you can't take both your arms, right?
I mean, he probably can, and my legs.
Oh,
What would Zaman do?
you know what he would do.
I know what he would do.
Bro, just play your character, bro.
Gotta play your character.
Hope Cora got those healing spell slots ready.
Zaman's gonna go forward and say, before we go, there's something interesting over here. And he'll start approaching the statue and try to get a better look at these gems.
Alright, make an investigation check for me. A 9? Easy enough. They still, even with that low of a check, they seem to be mana crystals. And they seem to be lodged inside of where the eye sockets are of this creature. Well, it's more of their eyes are mana crystals.
Azor will say to you, remember what you just said about not disturbing the sanctuary. And then she'll make her way out.
Zaman hearing that will still say, but I just used our last source of mana to get up Cora. We need to replenish. It's worth the risk.
Zora puts her hand on the hilt of her sword and she just sighs.
Yeah, he's gonna go and try to get the crystals out of the statue.
Addy Dark runs into the room and pushes him away.
Alright.
Like dives at him.
Alright, that being said, as you begin to do so, Zaman, you look over to the left, and you begin to see as Addy Dark is just rushing and approaching, and he's literally leaps out towards you and jumps and tackles. That being said, as he and it's like right as you're grabbing that of the crystal, getting ready to sort of dislodge it, are you resisting?
Definitely resisted.
Alright, here's what I figured. Okay, Zaman, I need you to make an athletics check or an acrobatics check. Your choice. Addy Dark, I need you to make an athletics check.
This is gonna be interesting.
Can you do it for me, good sir?
I gotcha. Oh no. Oh no.
Wow.
Oh no. That is a natural one.
Really?
He definitely got stiff armed with the one armed man stiff armed his neck.
Wow.
Not used to this new gravity, bro.
You got yeeted.
Me too, bro.
Hit him with that you.
Wow.
Hit him with the...
Wow. I am.
Stiff armed by
Hey, you.
tin cans, bro.
Nice one.
Oh my god.
Yo,
Remember this tin can today.
Yo,
Zaman got like -20 to athletics, and V's got like +22, and somehow.
Alright, so you guys watch as Addy Dark tries to rush over and immediately just sort of tackle Zaman. However, as this happens, you see as he begins to just sort of push his hand away, and you see as it's able to sort of stop Addy Dark in his tracks. It's sort of strength that you didn't necessarily expect coming out from the Tin Can Warforge. However, as he begins to do so, Zaman, I need you to make a strength check to dislodge the crystals. One for each of them.
Strength.
Yep, strength check. 1, alright, 19, and then a second one.
Alright, can I cast guidance for this one?
Considering Addy Dark is probably not gonna let you. Probably not.
True. Fair enough.
And 17, both are able to meet the DC. You're eventually able to sort of dislodge both of them with this sort of newfound strength. And as you do, oh boy. Alright, everybody, you already know what time it is. I need for 2 crystals, yep, I need you, Zaman, my good friend, to roll 2d100. And don't roll a 7 on either of them. Oh god. All right.
This dude's about to have no arms.
My bad. Well, I guess you can see the
Wait,
rolls.
I see a
visually.
7. I see a 7 in there.
All right. A 98.
What's a 67? Damn.
Okay. And then a 67. All right.
Let's see.
Oh.
I
Okay.
don't know if I like this laugh, man. I don't know. That was an evil Joker laugh right there, man.
Just note the
Yeah,
position.
yeah, he definitely did this.
Note the position of the tokens.
Yo, notice that
That's
Gore
comedy, bro.
said maybe we should
That's
chill out.
comedy.
Maybe we should focus on this.
So,
I just want to say, and
Zaman.
everybody was berating Gore at the door. Same man that was, let he who was without sin steal the first mana stone, right? No problem.
So, Zaman, here's what you hear. You begin to. Oh wait, no, you guys. Wait, no, do you all? Nah, this one's more interesting. All right, you begin to hear as there is this sort of faint, kind of ethereal music that's just sort of surrounding you. It's creepy to all hell, and it just seems to almost emanate from nowhere and just circling all around you as you begin to hear it. And then on top of that, you look towards the nearest creature, being Addydark. And as you sort of hear this music, as you look at them as they almost have this sort of aggressive stance, you're considered frightened of them for the next minute. Oh, boy. And you just constantly sort of hear this strange sort of music. It's almost... It's very, very strange to it. Oh, boy. Let me see if I got some. I think I do. Yeah, this'll cut it. Wait, where the fuck is it? That being said, what are you doing at this moment in time?
Considering I'm frightened of Addydark, he's gonna take the crystals and just try to run away.
Alright. You guys watch as Zaman takes the crystals and bolts. What are you doing?
I'm like fleeing. I'm like, get away from me!
Zora just like
Yeah, I can't take this.
covers her like just puts her head in her hand and just shakes.
Face palm. Face palm.
He's out frantically. I guess he's gonna just run towards the door, open it without no regard.
And Gore is gonna go help.
This music does
See,
not sound
I
friendly.
told you I told you he was the greedy one.
Well, the good news is, you do get 2 mana.
She's gonna be chasing after Zaman.
Alright. As you guys begin to, or as you chase after Zaman, Zaman, you can easily just open the door and run through if you want.
Yep.
If you want.
He's gonna keep running as far as he can.
You see another door off to the side over here.
Yep. He's gonna run straight to it. Open that one up.
Alrighty.
She's gonna yell after him to like stop.
Well, can Gore?
Alright. Stop right there. Okay.
Oh, come on! I had questions, Sensei. I had questions.
bad.
Oh
Too bad.
boy.
He had action. See, you were busy talking. He was busy acting.
Alright.
Yeah, right.
I have
Maybe
a
if you
couple
were
of
helping me tackle him,
questions.
this wouldn't be a problem, Gore.
Hey, Gore thought you had that. He was kind of
Alright,
surprised.
towards you.
He thought
I
you
see
had
them
that.
on the
Arm,
stairs.
one arm.
He gave you a lot.
You didn't see the moss on the stair, bro? You didn't see the moss on the stair?
Zaman, I have a question,
Yeah.
and this is so if you have a reaction
Gore
for it.
really had confidence in you, bro.
Zaman, does a 23 hit and a 9 hit?
A 9.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said there's a
23 will definitely hit.
Alright. That being said, good to know. Azora does, yeah, this is gonna hit. A 24 hit.
Yeah, it's Azora.
Alright. That being said, oh boy, it's Christmas. 1, 2, 3. Or hold up, this is only 1.
We are nowhere near y'all.
Hold on.
Y'all get snuck.
3 plus 3, that is 6 points, or that is 6 points of damage towards Zaman. And Azora, this is gonna be 1d6 plus 3.
Y'all getting snuck.
That is 9 points of damage to Azora. Oh.
Damn. You like that, bro?
Yo, I hate Chris.
You
I hate
like that, bro?
He killed all of us.
Yeah.
And
like that, bro.
as this happens, you guys, because you never checked the other side earlier, you begin to see as immediately 3 orcs off to the side, again coursing with an astral light. They seem to be immediately taking that of javelins and just chucking directly towards you as you begin to exit and just rush through that of the cave. You begin to immediately see as Zaman is pelted with a javelin after javelin before he just stops in his tracks. Azora, at this point, you see as a javelin's coming directly towards you in the corner of your eye, and you're too slow to react with this new strange gravity as it does embeds itself almost into your shoulder, pinning you against the wall before you're able to sort of back up a little bit and sort of yank it out. And as that happens, these 3 orcs remain here. But oh boy, you also see a larger individual sort of at the ready, bigger than the others, with this sort of massive great axe at their side and wielding in their hands, waiting for the right opportune moment, clad in plate mail armor, or definitely clad in some sort of force. And you see this individual, a massive sort of corrupted orc from what you can tell. And with that, oh boy.
It's just one thing for I would have been chasing after them as well. I just want to point out that if I could move, I'd be moving. I would have been moving. I would have. The one thing though is that
one at a time.
Right?
Go ahead, Addy Dark.
Sorry. The one thing though is once they got to the door that I had seen the other orcs come from, I would have slowed down for sure and been like, "Y'all need to chill." But apparently it just kept running anyways. But that's like the only wherever
bro,
we're like,
what you mean?
Well,
so I'd be like right at the entrance of the door of like where the orcs originally came out of. Like that's where I would be, because I would have stopped there, because I would want to be in battle mode.
I got you.
Don't
worry.
Let me tell y'all, we went from grayscale and what's his name being mortal enemy. And Gore may be the perfect, most reasonable people in this group right now.
Gore and Addy Dark.
That being said,
Yo, I cannot believe we are the
Pretty reasonable.
Real quick, here's what happens. So, the bad news is, you guys immediately are sort of, or have javelins tossed at you, and you're nearly killed almost instantly. But, as this begins to happen, you see as the individual begins to sort of speak and yell out in a language you don't necessarily understand. It's kind of mixed with a bit of Orcish and this other strange language. Gore, make an intelligence check for me.
Gore intelligence check. What kind of work is that?
Gore intelligence.
Those don't go together.
They really
Jesus
don't, but
Christ.
hey, man. Nah, it's not gonna be enough. That said, you see as he begins to just sort of point his axe towards you all. And you guys watch as this begins to happen. Time begins to just sort of freeze for a brief moment. And you see as you guys are all stopped and shackled into place. And as this happens, you see almost your life sort of flashing before your very eyes of all the bits of memories that you've had so far. From you sort of stopping and awakening into this sort of strange new world. Back into the Jaded Dragon Valley. Climbing up the mountaintops. Sort of residing here. As it all sort of plays out before you. It leads back to this moment. And you see as a strange sort of spherical individual begins to appear before you once more. It begins to raise its hands toward, or raise its fin to the sky, coursing with an energy, and then coursing amongst you. And as that happens, oh boy, y'all are so fucking lucky. One, that is where we will have to end this session. As you guys, because Soulbound did it, the other groups did it, you all hit level 2 right here at this moment. Oh my god.
Easy. All easy clap. All planned. Calculated.
Calculated. Oh man, alright.
Does that mean we go back to full health?
Oh my god.
Man, that was sad.
Oh man.
Look, a wise man once said, you gotta ask the questions, especially when it's cowabunga time.
Definitely cowabunga.
Gotta ask the questions, bro.
You don't
Gotta
go
ask
to
the
full
questions.
health, but you gain the health that you roll. So,
Okay.
dear lord. If there was any time that you were supposed to level up across all the Soulbound groups because of the Ascent, this would have been a whole different scenario.
Oh yeah, it definitely. They would have been dead.
Oh, easy.
They would have been rolling up a couple of dice, looking at the loading screen right now.
Ayo, 46, 6 times, drop the lowest. That being said, hey, I will be right back. That will be where we end the session, and we'll have to pick back up next week. I'm gonna break down stream, and I'll be right back. I can already see the look on Sean and Kay's face. They ready for me to mute. All right, I'll be right back. Oh my god. All right. So we're going to go to the chilling screen. That being said, thank you guys for watching, each and every single one of you. Thank you for all the raids, and thank you Carney Sideshow, and hold up. And thank you, Fires, for earlier for the raids. You guys are freaking awesome. My name is SenseiSuplex, if you guys don't know, and essentially I am a professional dungeon master, and this is the Grand Auroraverse that you guys are watching. Basically, Project Aurora, or the Auroraverse, is pretty much a giant persisting universe where everybody in any campaign can affect each other in big or small ways. Not only that, but you guys can also affect the campaigns in big or small ways as well, from being able to give out inspiration points, giving out health potions, being able to give resources to the party, but also on top of that, getting heavily involved with the world building and being able to build the universe up together. It's a huge sort of world building project featuring multiple DMs and all that other craziness. So hey, if that feels, or if that's interesting to you, whether you want to be a player in it or even a dungeon master, be sure to join the Discord because we'd love to have you. All that good stuff. But yeah, also because I do this, or I'm a full-time content creator as well as being in university. If you want to support me or anything that I do, join the Discord, but also consider checking out the Patreon. We give out a lot of, just, you know, general battle maps, homebrew races, and subclasses and stuff like that. Like the Oculi Human, which is the thing that Azora plays, as also, the Orc, or excuse me, the Red Orc, and also the Sprite, which is what Gore of the Meadows is, or Gore in the Meadows is. Many more. So hey, if you feel like doing that, be sure to check it out and support anything that I do. Last sort of announcements before we go. So there's not going to be a stream on Wednesday, but we will stream on Friday where we pick back up with the Ascent campaign, and that's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern time, going over to 6 p.m. Trust me when I say this, guys. Trust me, like no joke, no joking around. You're not going to want to miss that, or you're not going to want to miss that session on Friday. It's gonna be insane. Maybe the biggest session yet since probably the beginning of Soulbound. I'm not even joking. So 2 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. Be sure to check it out. And last but not least, for all you Dungeon Masters and D&D players, we also are on several forms of social media and all that stuff, but we even have a YouTube channel where, and we actually just released a huge sort of video where it's basically going up, or it goes over basically what is D&D, and basically explains it to you guys and like what it means in 2021 and all that stuff. It's more tailored to people who don't know about the hobby and you want to get them into it. So hey, everybody as a person, they want to get into D&D, so be sure to actually go follow the YouTube channel over there. It's in the link down below in the chat. Be sure to go over there, share that video, go check it out, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel if you feel like supporting me. But enough being a little stupid ad bot. Thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate each and every single one of you We're gonna see if we're almost close to the 1,000 follower goal at about 986. So hey, if you enjoyed anything, make sure to leave a follow on the stream. I don't think we have anybody we can raid, so we're gonna probably just throw it over to somebody random and make somebody smile. Fuck it, let's just go raid T. Yeah, let's go raid T. So, T is a cool little streamer and whatnot. She's a good friend of mine. She's streaming Legend of Zelda at the moment. So, hey, why not check her out and leave a follow on her channel. She's freaking pretty funny and an awesome person. So, hey, why not? Let's go give a little bit of love and support to her. Why don't we? Alright, we're gonna raid channel. Green T. Alright, Alright, everybody, thank you guys for watching. It's time to pile on into the raid. Let us go. The time is now. We will drown them in follows and take everything that they have. No, I'm joking. But thank you guys again for watching. You guys are awesome. Have a good one, guys.